welcome to the On Deck Circle. I'm Bill White, and our guest, clubhouse man Pete Sheehy. We'll be back to talk to Pete in just a moment.
The Voices on WMCA.
Good morning, this is Steve Powers.
Southbound Major Deacon Expressway dragging.
This is Information Radio News.
Dan Meenan, City Hall.
Comprehensive news from Mutual Radio.
John Sterling, WMCA Sports.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey.
Good morning, I'm Dan Daniels.
Hi, this is Sally Jesse Raphael.
Good afternoon. This is Bob Grant.
Bert Knapp, WMCA News.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Barry Gray.
Hello there. This is Long John Neville.
And Candy Jones.
The Richard Hayes Program.
Every Sunday morning.
Hi, this is Leon Lewis.
Malachi McCourt here.
My name is Julian Schlossberg.
This is R. Peter Strauss.
This is Herb Norman. Each of those voices is an important one. But the most important voice to us is yours. Your voice in New York. Make it heard. Call us. Tell us. We're waiting to hear.
Your voice in New York. WMCA
57.
How long have you been around Yankee Stadium?
Well, Bill, I started in 1927.
What'd you do back in 27?
Well, I came up one day to watch a ball game, and I was standing outside, and an old fella came out and asked me if I was going into the game, and I said yes. And he asked me would I come in and give him a little hand and save my money. I told him all right, and I went in and gave him a hand in the clubhouse, and he asked me would I be around next day to help him. I said, sure will. I've been here ever since.
Who were some of the guys on that 1927 Yankee team, Pete Sheehy?
Well, you had Wally Pipp, Lou Gehrig, Aaron Ward, Everett Scott, Pee Wee Waniger, Joe Dugan, Earl Combs, Babe Ruth, Bob Musial, Wally Shang, Benny Bengal, Pennock, Pip Grass, Bob Sharkey, Wade Hurt, and Will Seymour.
Hey, what year now? We know you've been in this Yankee clubhouse for a long time. What year did you become the clubhouse man of the Yankees?
Well, 1943, 4 and 5, I was in the service, and I came back, and we went to spring training, and the man that I was helping, Fred Logan, was sick all year, and he retired that year, and he passed away that following January. And his son and I have been helping at the time, so I stay with the Yankees, and his son today is still with the San Francisco Giants.
And it must have been quite a thrill to have the new Yankee clubhouse named after you.
Well, it is indeed. It's almost like a home thing. I think I spend more time here during the course of the day than I do at home.
Pete Sheehy, let's talk about some of your favorites in the Yankee clubhouse over the years.
Well, I guess you got to say everybody was. When you mentioned DiMaggio, Matt Olvera, Bobby Richardson, Charlie Keller, you'd have to run into the hundreds.
You know, we tell people up there that, of course, trainers work hard, but you mentioned sometimes you almost live in the clubhouse, and really, I feel clubhouse men, all clubhouse men especially, you probably put in more hours than anybody on a baseball team.
Well, I do, because as far as after a game, getting prepared for a game, I'm very, very fussy. I learned that from inspections in the Army.
How about this new Yankee clubhouse? Of course, in the next segment, we'll talk about the new stadium because you've seen the transition from the old stadium to the new one. How about the new Yankee clubhouse?
Well, it's much bigger than the one we had before, more elaborate with all the new innovations in there right now. But, years ago, Joe Pepitone had a hairdryer, and they all laughed at him and kidded him, but now there's a plug in each locker now for a hairdryer with a mirror yet.
Back to talk some more with Yankee clubhouse man Pete Sheehy right after this.
This is Steve Powers. I wish you'd join me between 6 a.m. and 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday, right here on WMCA. Not only do we bring you the information you need, commuter information, weather, news, mass transit, sports, and traffic, but we talk about the issues of the day. We get a good cross-section of the public joining us every morning. That's 6 a.m. to 10 o'clock right here on WMCA.
WMCA.
Now, like it or not, you'll be learning
who's good with a bat but can't throw. And similar junk he must keep in a trunk for the John Sterling show. And once he adopts a position, he won't vacillate to and fro. No matter how wrong he may be all along on the John Sterling show.
Give it a rest.
Yes, the John Sterling show.
Yeah.
He being an old-timer, and I think, of course, I played when you probably had some of those great Yankee teams, but of course we were in the 60s. How about the old stadium as the new one we have here? Which one would you prefer?
Well, all my fond memories is with the old one, and this is everything is new here. It's going to be quite a while before you know the layout of the whole ballpark, but after a week or so, everything will fall into place.
Now, how about the changes from we mentioned the change from combs, I guess you might say, and towels to hair dryers. Have there been any other changes in baseball that you've seen that have impressed you or not impressed you?
Well, the years ago, we never had to worry about combs because everybody wore crew cuts. And today it's a little different. It's all kinds of hairsprays and whatnots.
Well, you didn't mind too much then when George Steinbrenner, the Yankee owner, made these guys cut their hair then.
No, I didn't. But the fact that they all got them cut, and I think they look much better.
One other thing, Pete. Now, we've been fortunate. I know I'm a natural grass man. I think the game should be played on natural grass, and I think if you could make an observation on the Yankees keeping grass with this new field.
Well, I'm an old grass man myself because I guess I'm old-fashioned, and I'm a believer that baseball should be played on regular grass.
Pete, let's talk about your duties in the clubhouse. I know you have help, but what basically are your duties?
Well, to check the uniforms and make sure they're clean for each game, and setting up their lockers and packing the uniforms ready for the road. And I like to keep everybody's knocker neat. There again, where I got the training from the Army years ago.
One thing that's changed, too, a guy can almost get a complete meal in a clubhouse now after a baseball game.
Well, yes. As a rule, you have coffee and cake for them in the morning. After the game, they have a little snack just to keep them till they get home.
Pete, one final question. The Yankees of 1976. You've seen a lot of Yankee teams. How should this one end up?
I think we got a lot of speed, Bill, and I'm very much impressed with our pitchers, plus the fact we got some great young arms down in the minor leagues.
All right, our guest has been on the on-deck circle, Pete Sheehy, the longtime Yankee clubhouse man, and honored recently by having the new Yankee clubhouse named after him. So it's Pete Sheehy Clubhouse. And Pete, for being on our program, the on-deck circle guest, you're going to get a Mr. Coffee Maker from Two Guys Discount Department Store. Two Guys, the only place where you'll find the widest selection of top quality name brand goods for you, your home, car, and leisure time activities. All at everyday low discount prices. After the game, it's Two Guys, naturally. Stay tuned for Yankee baseball.
This is a commercial for Goodrich Radial Tires, and I'm Joan Rivers. I know you're thinking, what do I know about radial tires? And you're right, I'm a woman. I know more about housework, which, by the way, is futile and boring, because you make your bed and you do your dishes, and 6 months later you have to start all over again. But the point is, most people don't know about tires. So Goodrich told me something about tires to tell you. Your wheels have a lot to do with how your tires wear. If your wheels are constantly out of alignment, your tires can wear out unevenly and much too quickly. So a tire may last only 10,000 miles when it could have and should have lasted much longer. Even Goodrich Radials. It costs you money, and what's worse, it could cost you more than money. What we don't know about tires can hurt us. So it's a good thing someone is telling us. If you want to know more, don't ask me. I told you I know nothing. Ask your Goodrich dealer. He's a darling.
Go see your Goodrich dealer. He believes selling great tires isn't enough.
These Goodrich dealers in the New York area will tell you how to get the most out of your tires. Dave Stern Incorporated, 390 McLean Boulevard, Patterson. Dave Stern Incorporated, 317 Wanacue Avenue, Pompton Lakes.
WMCA, Strauss Communications in New York. This is Barry Gray. Join me each night at 10:05 p.m. with famous guests.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to New York Yankee Baseball. Today's game is brought to you by Schaefer Beer. Go out and get a Schaefer, and be Schaefer people, too. By Gabriel. No matter what you drive, no matter how you drive, there's a Gabriel shock for you. Gabriel, King of the Road. By Household Finance, a company that says never borrow money needlessly. Household Finance. By Chrysler Plymouth. It's the year to say yes to Motor Trend's Car of the Year, Chrysler Plymouth Volare. By Getty Premium and new Getty Unleaded Regular, the higher octane gasoline with the lower prices. By the people from Colonial Yankee Franks, the all-beef Franks with the taste that takes you out to the ball game. And by Lincoln Savings Bank, the bank who makes friends for life. The Lincoln Savings Bank in Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Manhattan.
Hello again, everybody. Bill White from Yankee Stadium, and what you're listening to now is the ovation for Mickey Mantle. Yankee public address announcer Bob Shepard is introducing all of the dignitaries here, and he just introduced Mantle, and what you're hearing is a great ovation for Mickey Mantle. Out there already, Whitey Ford, Elston Howard, Billy Martin. I see Joe Louis out there, Yogi Berra's out there, as they are introducing people who played a great part in this great stadium over the years. Arnold Tucker's out there, Johnny Lujack is out there, football. Right now, this program is authorized by the New York Yankee Baseball Club under rights purchased by Manchester Broadcasting Productions Incorporated, solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of this game without the express written consent of the Yankees and Manchester Broadcasting is prohibited. New York Yankee Baseball is a production of Manchester Broadcasting Productions Incorporated, which has contracted for and has exclusive rights to the broadcasting of these games, including selection of the announcers with approval by the Yankees and by this station. Right now, here's the ovation for Joe DiMaggio. And sitting next to me, just coming into the booth, a fellow who has seen Joe DiMaggio play here so many times in this great stadium. Good buddy of mine, now with Lee McPhail in the American League office. Former PR man for the Yankees. Now, I guess, Bob, PR man for the American League. Bob Fischel.
Hi, Bill. This is a great moment, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I wonder, Bob, we talked to Pete Sheehy just before the ball game, and we asked him what he thought about the new stadium. Of course, he thought it was a great stadium, but I think he liked the old place. How about you? You've seen them both.
Well, you stand out in center field of the old stadium, and it just was awesome. And maybe this isn't as awesome because there's so many beautiful stadiums around the country today. But the fact they have a replica of the old facade in center field, you're looking out at it all the time, and you think you're in Yankee Stadium, and it really is. I think it's one of the most beautiful ballparks I've ever seen, and the more I see of the little details of it, I think it's going to be a really, truly great ballpark. I'm thrilled with it. I really am thrilled with the development of it. There's not a bad seat in this ballpark, and I'm not trying to advertise for the Yankees now.
Well, I can't advertise for them. There's not an obstructed view here. There might be one or two behind the foul pole down the left field line and the foul pole down the right field line, but that isn't going to bother too many people.
No, it's a beautiful, beautiful park, and there are a lot of things aren't finished with it yet, I'm sure, but it's just a magnificent stadium, and I know it costs a lot of money, and some people are upset about the amount of money it costs, but it's going to keep the Yankees in New York City where they belong, and it's going to make the city a viable city sports-wise, and I just think it's a great thing, and I congratulate the fans of the city of New York for having such a magnificent new stadium.
Bob Fischel, let's talk about the attendance now in the American League. I think the last few years the National League has outdrawn the American League, mainly because they've got a lot of new stadiums.
That's absolutely right.
And I think here we're going to have 54,000, and I've noticed in most of the other parks, attendance has been up for opening day.
We don't have the figures yet, but we understand we're running at the rate of 23% ahead of last year and ahead of our all-time record of 1971. And we have either today, if the Yankees draw 54-0 something today, we will break the all-time American League opening day attendance record for the whole season with 1 game to go. And if not, it'll do it on Saturday when Oakland opens. Both leagues together are going to draw very close to 900,000 people for their opening games. It's never happened in baseball history before.
Well, maybe these people felt the season wouldn't start, so now it's here. They're really hungry for baseball. They're coming out.
You're right, Bill. They got tired of all the controversies we've had, and all of us in the game are tired of it. But the game itself is such a great game that people they're seeking it. They crave it, and we've had good weather this spring. That's also contributed to the fact that we've had good attendance. But people really wanted it, and here comes Toots Shor.
Well, you know, I don't know who put this list together, but we mentioned some of the guys who are here, but they certainly put together a list of people who have really played an important part in this stadium, not only in baseball, but also in other events. Now, already presented out there, of course, Yankee catcher Elston Howard, Yankee pitcher Whitey Ford, Billy Martin, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle got great hands. I saw Don Larson underneath the stadium. He's here. Yogi Berra's out there. Mrs. Babe Ruth and Mrs. Lou Gehrig. And there goes Pete Sheehy. We talked to him on the On Deck Circle show, and the Yankee Clubhouse will be named, or is named now, today officially, Pete Sheehy Clubhouse. I mentioned Mrs. Lou Gehrig. Frank Gifford is here, and Carl Rote of the New York Football Giants. Big Jim Parker is supposed to be here.
He's here. He's out there.
Weeb Eubank, Johnny Lou, Jack, and Arnold Tucker. They played those great Army Notre Dame football games here at the stadium. And, of course, Joe Louis fought here a couple of times.
He got a great ovation. I don't know if you heard it, but he did. He got a tremendous ovation. He held his hand over his head like he did when he won. It was really touching.
I think the only man...
Here's Mel Allen.
Here's Mel Allen, a longtime voice of the Yankees, and listen to the hand from Mel. I think the only person not here who played such a great part in the history of this stadium is the Pope.
Is who?
Pope. Yes. Because they had some great matches here.
That was the most moving moment I ever spent in Yankee Stadium. Not my religion, and yet I was fortunate enough to be here that day, and it was really the most moving thing I've ever seen in the stadium.
Well, they're going to introduce the Minnesota Twins now, and Bob, good talking to you. I'm sure that this is going to be not only a great year for the American League, but a great year for baseball.
I think so, Bill, and I really hope that that everybody winds up in a 6-team tie in each division by the end of the season, because that would make for a great race everywhere. But I think it's going to be a great season, and I congratulate you on your return to the Yankees and on this great stadium, and wish you a great season.
Bob Fischel, thanks a lot. Well, introducing the Minnesota Twins, and we're going to ask Phil Pepe, one of the New York Scribes, to come in and sit next to us as Bob Fischel leaves, and I'll give you the Minnesota lineup while Phil makes his way down. Jerry Terrell will lead off and play second base. Dan Ford will bat second and play right field. Rod Carew at first base will bat third. Batting fourth and playing left field for the Twins, Larry Heisel. The designated hitter will be Greg Cusick. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching for the Twins, Butch Weiniger. Weiniger's a switch hitter and a young fella. Batting seventh and playing third base, Dave McKay, a newcomer. Batting eighth and playing center field, Steve Bry. Batting ninth, the shortstop for the Minnesota Twins, Danny Thompson. And on the mound, the right-hander, Dave Goltz, making his second start of the year. Phil Pepe of the New York Daily News. You thought I'd forget that, didn't you?
You got that right. It took you 8 years to learn.
We don't get your paper down in Pennsylvania, Phil. Now, Phil, you've seen this ball club. You saw it all spring. You saw it in Minnesota. You saw it in Baltimore. As I say, didn't read where you thought the teams would end up this year. Where do you think the 1976 New York Yankees fit in the American League this year?
Well, you know, I picked them third, Bill, but you know as well as anybody that it's impossible to predict exactly what's going to happen through the course of a season. Whether or not, injuries play such an important part. A few breaks here, a few breaks there, and it can all change. I picked Baltimore first on the strength of Reggie Jackson and Ken Holtzman. If Reggie doesn't show up or shows up late, that looks like a team that's not going to hit too much. I think the one team that has the ability to run away and win by a big margin is Boston. I don't think any other team in the division can run away. I don't know that they will run away. I don't think they will. I think that they're bound to have some problems. They went through a season last year where everything was right for them. They never got any serious injuries except to Carlton Fisk and Jim Rice when it really didn't matter anymore. But they have the kind of personnel, I think, that if they do put it all together, they could be tough and they could win by 10 games.
Now, let's look at Boston. Since we picked them first, there are a couple of things about Boston. Now, Fergie Jenkins gives up a lot of home runs, and Rick Wise gives up a lot of home runs. Of course, this means that Darrell Johnson, the manager, has to sort of manage around those guys at his own ballpark.
I said, Bill, that potentially, I mean, if you just sat down and look optimistically and say, what are these people capable of doing? Well, they have 4 guys who've all won 20 games. So you have to say that potentially they could all win 20 games. Now, you and I know they all won't win 20. Chances are that some of them will be less than 500 pitchers. But I'm just talking about when you sit down and you go on paper, they seem to have the best team on paper.
Phil Pepe, let's dissect the Yankees. Let's talk about the pitching, and then we'll talk about the defense, and then we'll talk about the hitting in that order, because I think it might be in that order of strengths.
Right.
Let's talk about the pitching first.
I think the key to the pitching, Bill, is Sparky Lyle. I think if Sparky Lyle pitches like he did 2 years ago, everything will fall into place. There are a couple of other things you'd like to see. Doc Ellis's performance the other night, it was really an eye-opener. That's got to be a big plus if he can pitch 2 out of 3 games like that. And I think Ed Figueroa is going to be an outstanding pitcher. I know he didn't look good in Milwaukee. He had trouble with his control, and maybe the mound was a factor, maybe the cold weather was a factor. But from what I saw in spring training, he looks like a guy who knows how to pitch and is going to win most of the games he pitches, I think. And of course, Hunter is Hunter.
Hunter is Hunter, yeah. There's no sense describing Hunter.
And
he's going to win 20 just going out there throwing his glove out there.
At least. And I think he'd be disappointed if he wins only 20. He's that good a pitcher. But we don't know how good Ken Brett is. We don't know how sound his arm is. And they haven't even seen Martinez. He pitched to 1 batter, and Larry Gura and Tidrow and Dave Pagan haven't pitched that much. But I think that the real key is Sparky Lyle.
All right, we're going to talk about the defense in just a moment, Phil, but we'd like to remind you, if you're listening to our broadcast, the game will be held up a bit because of the ceremonies going on the field, and also because of the traffic jam outside. People still trying to get into this great new stadium. We're talking to Phil Pepe. We've gone over the pitching. How about the defense, Phil?
Well, I think the outfield defense is, especially if and when Elliot Maddox comes back, the outfield defense is excellent in that they have guys out there who can run the ball down. I've been impressed with Rivers' ability to go get the ball. He's played center field very well. The throwing arms in the outfield are average to weak, as you know. The catcher is probably the best defensive catcher in the league.
Which catcher now? Let's get him down. He's going to catch, by the way, this game. Thurm Munson will finally get behind the plate after being designated hitter for 4 ball games.
Well, that's who I was referring to, obviously, and Rick Dempsey's a good number 2 catcher, but a number 2 catcher. So we're talking about starting team. The infield, I think, is the question. Just how good the infield will be, I think, will depend on how good your pitching is, too. I think first of all, I don't like the idea. I'm going to second-guess Billy Martin on the air. I just don't like the idea of platooning at shortstop, and I don't think that he will go through the season platooning at shortstop. I think sooner or later he will have to and will make up his mind which is the better of the two and stick with that guy, especially when you have a rookie second baseman. Isn't that right, Bill? I mean,
yes, Willie Randolph, rookie there at second base, and he needs a little experience there.
And you also need some stability.
Yeah, we agree. I think we've thought about Baltimore. We look at Baltimore. They run Belanger and Gritch out there. They've been there at least for the last 4 years. They get to know each other.
Yeah, I think that's important, and it'll help Willie if he knows his shortstop. I think eventually it will be Stanley, who is not the kind of guy who's going to make the eye-opening play and the game-saving play or take you out of a big inning with a great play, but he's a steady infielder with good hands who makes the routine play. But whether that wins pennants or not, I don't know.
Phil, let's go back and talk about Willie Randolph, because it seems to me this guy he's going to have a long, outstanding career here with the New York Yankees, barring injury.
the thing I like about him most of all, Bill, is that he just fits in. He looks like he's been around forever. He's just such an easygoing, relaxed player, has such great poise. Here he was 0 for 8, and no one was aware that he was 0 for 8. He didn't press. He hit the ball good. He'll make an error or make a bad play and come right back at you. And he's got, I think, great range, and he turns the double play over very, very quickly. I think he's going to be outstanding.
We're going to talk to you some more, Phil. We still haven't gotten to the hitting, but we're listening to Bob Shepard down. We have 3 combined bands out ranging from left field to right field, and we're going to have the national anthem. And I believe that Bob Merrill, a longtime baseball fan and a longtime, yes, I see Bob down at second base, and a longtime Yankee fan, will sing the national anthem. We'll be back with more from Phil Pepe right after this.
If all you need is money, come on into HFC. Come on in, come on in, come on in to HFC.
For the things you want, see HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
So come on in, come on in, come on in to HFC.
Household finance, where people use our money to get the most out of life.
Come on in to HFC. You're gonna be surprised, but don't be surprised by the nice little extras from AMCO.
At AMCO Transmissions, the guy who owns the place runs the place. Hey, he's right there to make sure the job gets done right.
WMCA get the nice little extras from AMCO.
When your car's transmission needs repair and you want it back fast, take it to one of the AMCO centers in the greater New York area. They do things right. Don't be surprised by the nice little extras at AMCO.
Well, down on the field now, Bob Shockey, who pitched the stadium opener back in 1923, has thrown out the ceremonial first pitch. And Bob is accompanied by 5 of his 1923 teammates, Oscar Rutger, Hinky Haynes, Joe Dugan, Wade Hoyt, and Whitey Witt. We've been talking to Phil Pepe of the New York Daily News, and Phil, we didn't get to the hitting on this ball club. Now, they got a couple of home runs down in Baltimore, 3 home runs, in fact, in one ball game, the last game there, and taking 2 of 2 from Baltimore. Will this be a power hitting ball club? What kind of ball club will it be?
I don't think it'll be a power hitting ball club. I think I've said that I thought they were capable of hitting between 90 and 100 home runs this year. And there's been a lot of criticism, obviously, over the trade of Bobby Bonds, because he's the one guy you had who could get 3 runs with one swing of the bat, who was a threat to do that. But even with Bonds last year, the team only hit 110 home runs. So I think if they hit between 90 and 100, that home run production will be about what it was last year, and they won't be hurt much by it. It's nice to have the guy who you're down by 3 in the late innings and come up there and take one swing and you're tied up. But without him, I think this will be a team that will do a lot of hit and running, a lot of stealing. They've already stolen, 7 or 8 bases. I think they can steal 150 this year. It'll be an exciting team to watch from that point of view. But a lot depends on Mickey Rivers getting on base. Once he gets on base, he's going to steal. If he can hit 300 or close to it and set the tempo of the game, I think that will be the kind of team it will be. A lot of running and a lot of hit and run.
Well, now let's look at the bottom line. We know that home runs are important, but we saw Munson hit only 12 home runs last year and drive in 102 runs. And we saw, this was brought up in Baltimore, in fact, by one of the writers there. Reggie Jackson hit in home runs in the 30s, I believe, and driving only 7 more runs than Munson. Now, looking at the bottom line, is there anybody on this ball club capable of helping Munson in the RBI column?
Helping Munson?
Because you got to score runs. Whether you have home runs or not, they've got to hit the bag for you to win, or you better have great pitching and outstanding defense.
Well, they think that they'll score more runs than last year. They finished 9th in the league in runs scored, even with Bonds hitting 32 home runs. I think in the position I think you can figure that Nettles will be good for his 85 to 90 RBIs. And in the position in the lineup in which he's batting, and with those guys getting on base, Chambliss, who drove in about 80 runs last year, the best RBI production of his career, I think you could say that he'd be right around the 80 to 90 mark. So if you've got 3 guys driving in 80 or something runs, the run production should be pretty good.
You know, Phil Pepe, talking to you, I think you better reconsider your 1, 2, 3 lineup in the American League East. You said Boston, Baltimore, and the Yankees. Now, the more we talk, seems to me you might be wavering a little bit.
Well, I think you always look at what is the most optimistic when you assess a team. But I think the Yankees can win the pennant. I'm not saying they will, but I think they certainly can win. If all of these good things happen and the not-so-good things happen to the other teams, there's no reason why they couldn't win.
All right, let's talk about the stadium. We've already gotten you from picking the Yankees third now to a possibility for first.
Right.
So let's talk about this new stadium. It looks like it's a great building.
Oh, it's magnificent, Bill. I purposely did not come here until yesterday because I didn't want to see it in its total shambles. I saw it about 15 months ago when it was nothing, just a hole in the ground. But I am really impressed. I mean, when I walked out on that field and looked around at those blue seats and that scallop effect in center field, the old facade, and that beautiful scoreboard, I mean, really, it took my breath away. It really is a beautiful place. I know there are problems, and I know there's going to be bound to be much confusion today, but all of that will work itself out. And if it can stay as nice and clean as it is now, and there's no reason why it shouldn't, it's going to be a pleasure to be here.
How about the new dimensions? Will they hurt or help this Yankee team?
Well, this particular Yankee team, I think it probably will have no great effect. I think that it's still a big ballpark, and they have the kind of hitters who like to shoot for the alleys, who do shoot for the alleys, and can run pretty well. I think it probably will help them.
Remind you once again, the ball game is being held up because of, first of all, the pregame ceremonies, which have just been completed, and also there are a lot of people who want to get into the stadium who are not yet in. So we're going to hold it up probably for another, I guess, 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, if you're around listening to Phil Pepe and listening to me, don't have an accident. We're going to keep it going for you for another 5 or 10 minutes, and you're going to see probably the first ball thrown out here in this new Yankee Stadium. Phil, we talked to Bob Fischel just before you came on. Bob, of course, a longtime PR man for the Yankees, now with Lee McPhail in the American League. You've seen National League Baseball. You've seen American League Baseball. Of course, I played in the National League. Now I'm in the American League. When I was in the National League, I felt the American League was just that other league, you know, and we always outdrew the American League by 3 or 4 or 5 million people. But being here, I don't feel there's that much difference in the baseball that's being played. Number one, maybe in the way it's played. But number two, I think new stadiums like this stadium will bring a lot of American League fans back to baseball.
I think that's the basic difference, Bill. You hit it right on the head. Much of the reason why they have drawn better in the National League is because they have all the new ballparks in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, St. Louis, and people like to come where it's convenient and comfortable, and I think that's a large reason. I think as far as the play on the field, that has always worked in cycles. And there was a time when the American League was the league, the National League was the other league, quote unquote. And then that began to change. And I think significant change you can trace to the fact that the National League was first to sign most of the black players and the Latin American players, and they became great stars. And the American League seemed to drag its heels a little bit on that. And suddenly, Jackie Robinson and Willie Mays and Roberto Clemente burst upon the scene, and Bill White burst upon the scene.
I really burst the scene. In fact, my bubble burst about 7 or 8, 9 years ago.
I didn't say seam with an M. I said seam. No, but and Frank Robinson and all of these great black players who suddenly became the big stars in baseball. And the American League was lagging a little bit. But I believe with interleague trading and the free agent draft, that has leveled off to a great degree. And I think that the quality of baseball in both leagues is about comparable.
Phil, one other thing before you leave. I read you. I say I don't read you, but I do read you. And I know that you took a stand that might have been unpopular. You sort of felt that during the strife, well, we won't say strike, during the strife between the owners and the players, that perhaps the players might have had a point of view. Now, I'm not going to ask you about that because I'm sure your views are well known. What I'm going to ask you about is that despite that, despite the fact that a lot of people said they were not going to come out and see baseball, I think we're seeing a great upsurge in the baseball attendance.
It certainly is true. It just proves that people don't care about litigation. They don't care about clubs, players playing out their option. They want to see baseball. I mean, you put on a good show, and this is a good show, a beautiful ballpark. The attendance, I forget what the figures were. I think something like 480,000 people watch baseball in the various openings. It's just magnificent. People have the money to spend, I think, on good, wholesome entertainment, and baseball is just that.
You know what I like about baseball? You can come out here and sit, enjoy yourself. There's no time clock. Right. You don't wait a minute for the left end to come back to the huddle, and you don't sit down and watch a clock maybe until some guy about 7 foot 8 inches tall can throw one down the hoop. I really, and I guess I'm biased because I played it, but this is one sport that I feel, and I've argued with Bill Russell about this. Bill Russell, of course, feels that professional basketball players are the greatest athletes in the world.
I agree with him.
And you do agree with him?
I agree with that.
I disagree, so I'll argue with you now. Because they no way they can hit a ball that's coming there 90, 100 miles an hour, and not only coming in there quick, but deviating. But Russell and I argue about it quite a bit. If I were 7'2" now, I wouldn't mind playing basketball.
That's right, but the question is, what is an athlete? I mean, it's the running up and down is a constant pressure on a guy, and you must be in very good shape to play that game.
Well, then a miler must be the greatest athlete in the world.
Maybe he is. Maybe a postman, like Jimmy Cannon used to say, if a golfer is an athlete, so is a mailman.
But you haven't given me your argument why you think...
Well, it's going to take too long. You know, we
got time. The umpires are just out with Gene Mock and Billy Martin.
So you and I will go.
Well, we never agree on too much of anything anyway. But we do agree that baseball is a great game.
I agree. It's the greatest, I think. And I don't want to start knocking my friends in hockey and basketball and football because
I'll knock them for you
too. But this is the game I enjoy most because I don't know why. Because the action. People say the action is too slow. Well, it gives you a chance to assimilate the action and to understand what's going on the field. And I found this about baseball: the more you learn, the less you know. I mean, it's a simple game yet a complex game. I know that sounds strange, but that's the way I feel about it. I did have one complaint about the stadium, Bill. I have to register this complaint. It's supposed to be unobstructed viewing and no poles. I wind up sitting behind Pete Waversky of the Jersey Journal.
He's a pretty good sized fella.
There's a pole.
Oh. All right. Right over my head. Phil Pepe of the Daily News. Thanks for talking. Thanks for talking to us, and I'm sure your many readers out there have enjoyed listening to you.
Thank you very much, Phil.
All right, Phil. Back down to the field now. The umpires are out. Of course, this is a new stadium, and they've got to have new ground rules. They're talking to Gene Mock, the new skipper of the Minnesota Twins. He took over for Frank Quillisi this year. Mock has managed, the Philadelphia Phillies. He's managed the Montreal Expos, and now he's here with the Minnesota Twins. And I gave you his lineup earlier, but we'll give it to you again as Mock and Billy Martin go over the lineups. Mock has Jerry Terrell leading off, Dan Ford in right field, Rod Carew playing a new position, first base, Larry Heizo batting fourth and playing left field, Craig Kusick, the designated hitter, Butch Weiniger, the catcher, batting sixth, batting seventh and playing third base for the Twins, Dave McKay. He's a newcomer, and we'll tell you about him as the game goes along. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Steve Bry. Batting ninth, the shortstop, Danny Thompson. And on the mound for the Minnesota Twins, right-hander Dave Ghost. For the Yankees, Mickey Rivers will lead off, and he'll play center field. Rivers in center field batting first. Roy White playing left field for the Yankees and batting second. Batting third for the Yankees, behind the plate for the first time in 4 games, Thurm Munson. Munson will bat third and catch. Batting fourth and playing first base for the Yankees, Chris Chambliss. Greg Nettles will bat fifth, and he'll play third base. Nettles playing third and batting fifth. Oscar Gamble returns to right field, and he'll bat sixth. Gamble playing right field and batting sixth. Willie Randolph at second base will hit seventh. Randolph batting seventh and playing second. Rich Coggins will be the designated hitter, and he will bat eighth. Coggins, DH, and batting eighth for the Yankees. The shortstop, Jim Mason. Mason will bat ninth, and he'll play shortstop, and making his first start of the 1976 season, left-hander Rudy May. So Rudy May will be on the mound for the Yankees. The Yankees so far this year played 4 games, have won 3 of them, and right now they're on top of the American League East by 1/2 game over the Milwaukee Brewers. The Yankees have won 3 and lost 1. The Brewers have won 2 and lost 1. The Detroit Tigers have split a couple of games. Baltimore and Boston both figured to be way up top in the American League East. Of course, it's early and very early, and these figures really don't mean that much. Baltimore and Boston have each won 2 and lost 3, and holding up the American League East now will be Cleveland. They've won 1 and they've lost 2. Only a game and a half separates the 6 teams in the American League East. Over in the West, the Texas Rangers are off and running. Frank Lucchesi has that ball club out to 5 wins and just 1 loss. The White Sox, with Bill Veeck new to the league, they're in second place. They've won 2 and lost 1. The Oakland A's, minus Reggie Jackson, they're in third. They're playing an even 500 baseball. They've won 3 and lost 3, followed by the Minnesota Twins, the Yankees' opponents here this afternoon. The Twins have won 2 and lost 3. Kansas City's won 1 and lost 2, and California has won 1 and lost 4. Of course, the Angels playing without Bobby Bonds, who will be out another couple of weeks, possibly with a broken hand. So, looking at the American League East, Kansas City was expected to win, especially after Oakland made the deal for Jackson. And right now, they're struggling just a bit. But as we mentioned earlier, it's still early in the season. Of course, every game won now be better than losing it, because every game on the left side really counts. Look, yesterday, let's look at scores as we still await for this big crowd to come into the stadium. The Yankees are waiting to come out. The umpires are already out. But they're trying to allow everybody who has a ticket to be able to see the first pitch thrown out for this baseball game here this afternoon. Yesterday's scores: the Twins beat the Chicago White Sox 6-2. Cleveland edged Boston 6-5. Yesterday, Texas beat Oakland 4-2, and the California Angels got by the Kansas City Royals 7-6. All those games yesterday. Over in the National League yesterday, the Phillies beat Montreal 8-2. The Cubs beat the Mets 6-5 yesterday. Houston over San Francisco 5-3. And finally, yesterday's score: San Diego 3 and the Dodgers 1. Now that's a surprise. The Dodgers 0-4 in the National League West as the Yankees take the field here at a new Yankee Stadium. So all those scores were yesterday's scores. Today in the American League, of course, the Twins here playing the Yankees. The White Sox playing at Boston. California playing at Kansas City tonight. Cardinals play at Pittsburgh. Phillies play at Montreal. The Mets playing in Chicago. And the Cincinnati Reds playing down in Atlanta tonight. And that's today's schedule. We're waiting for Rudy May to come in from the bullpens. The bullpens, by the way, now are out. Well, they run from left center to straightaway center. The Minnesota Twin bullpen, about where the 402 sign used to be. Right now it's 387. And then back to back to that bullpen, the New York Yankee bullpen. In between, all the monuments that were out in deep center field at the old stadium. Well, they're enclosed now in a little special section in straightaway center out by the flagpole. Once again, the dimensions of the ballpark, it's 312 down the left field line, 387 in left center, 430 straightaway center, 417 in, well, I guess that's deep right center, 385 to right center, then coming into 353, and it's 310 right down the right field line. Rudy May out now taking his warm-up throws into Thurman Munson. He's making his first appearance of the season, as I mentioned to you earlier. He last pitched on April 3rd in Miami. He went 3 innings against the Baltimore Orioles. Last year, Rudy won 2 and he lost none. Let's see, against the Minnesota Twins. Lifetime against the Minnesota Twins, Rudy has won 11 and he's lost 7. Overall, last year with the New York Yankees, Rudy May won 14 and he lost 12. So May out taking his warm-up throws into Thurman Munson. Once again, a list of dignitaries that were on hand and introduced on the field prior to the ball game. Yankee first base coach Ellie Howard, former Yankee pitching great and former Yankee pitching coach Whitey Ford, Yankee skipper Billy Martin. Joe DiMaggio was here, Mickey Mantle, Don Larson, Yogi Berra, of course, now coaching the Yankees, Mrs. Babe Ruth and Mrs. Lou Gehrig, Frank Gifford and Kyle Rote, Jim Parker and Weeb Eubank, Johnny Lujack and Arnold Tucker, and the great world heavyweight champion, former champion Joe Louis. Of course, if you think about Joe like I think about Joe, he's still champion. Bobby Richardson delivered the invocation just before Bob Merrill sang the national anthem. And by the way, we better give Lafayette College, Brooklyn College, and Greenwich High School, all their bands were here. Oh, Rudy May has finished his warm-up tosses. Munson has thrown it into center field, and it's been tossed back into the Yankee infield. And this ball game is just about ready to get underway as Jerry Terrell steps in against May. Terrell bats right-handed. He's 2 for 16 so far in the young season. The first pitch is too high a ball. May missing with the fastball, and the first pitch is thrown out, and it will be preserved for history. Maybe that's why May threw the ball too high. May's next delivery, too high again, 2 balls and no strikes. Funny to sit up here and look down at first base and see Tony Oliva, one of the greatest hitters the American League's ever had, coaching down there. 2-0 pitch. High ball, 3 balls and no strikes on Terrell. Jerry backs out, looks down at third base. You know he's going to take it. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Let's take 15 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee, home of champions baseball network.
This is WMCA, Strauss Communications in New York. Hi, this is Mel Allen. An air freight company has to know the ground rules, too. That's why you should call Emory, the shortest distance between 2 points.
Dan Ford, the right fielder's in against Rudy May. He's a right-handed hitter. He's 2 for 21 so far. May sets, kicks, and deals. A breaking ball hit deep to left center. White's after it. He's got a long run. It is gone. A home run for Dan Ford. And the Twins lead 2-0. The visiting player, Dan Ford, has hit the first home run in the new Yankee Stadium and given the Twins a 2-0 lead here, and we're just underway. Ford was batting .095 before that home run. That's his second of the year. He's only got 3 hits. 2 of them have been home runs. 2-0 Twins as Rod Carew is in. That ball went out between the 387 mark and the 430 mark and into the Twin bullpen. So the Twins, after 5 pitches, lead it 2-0. Jerry Terrell walked on 4 pitches. And then Dan Ford jumped on May's fastball and ripped it over the fence and deep left center field. And right now we've got a little pig on the field. The usher and the Yankee bat boy are putting it back into a sack, and they'll probably take it off. Somebody turned the pig loose. Fortunately, the pig did not start to run, and I hope it's all right. Pulling him gingerly off the field. While they're doing that, Rudy May continues to warm up. Well, the Twins shocking Rudy May and the Yankees early. They've taken a 2-0 lead as Rod Carew steps in. Carew is 6 for 18 so far. That's about .333. His lifetime batting average .328. Bounce one toward first base. Chambliss has it, bobbles it, underhand toss to May, and they've got him. Ball was hit between Chambliss and May. May decided to let Chambliss get the ball. Chambliss got it and bobbled it. Rudy kept going and was at the bag and got the toss from Chris for the first out. So to put out 3-1. And that'll bring on Larry Heisel, the left fielder. Heisel bats right-handed. He's 5 for 21 so far. That's just under .240. Twins have their lineup loaded with right-handed hitters, except for Carew. Weininger's a switch hitter. May rocks, kicks, and deals the first pitch. Heisel takes a breaking ball that's outside. Twins leading at 2-0. Top of the first. The next delivery, swung on and missed a good breaking ball by Rudy May. It's a ball and a strike. Nettles at third base, Mason's a shortstop, Randolph at second, and Chambliss playing first for the Yankees. Fastball finds the outside corner. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Heisel. White Rivers and Oscar Gamble in the outfield. Thurm Munson making his first appearance behind the plate. 1-2 pitch is too high. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Heisel. May taking a lot of time. By the way, Eddie Lyons is the third base coach for the Twins. Breaking ball hit him. Curveball broke too much, and Heisel could not get out of the way. He's hit by the pitch, and he'll go to first base. Well, a tough first inning for Rudy May. He walked the leadoff man, Jerry Terrell. Gave up the 2-run home run to Dan Ford. Got Carew on a bounce out, but now he hits Larry Heisel. So Heisel at first base with 1 away, and here's Craig Kuzic, the designated hitter. Kuzic so far in the season is 2 for 8. Big right-handed hitter. Yankee infield back looking for 2 except for Chambliss. He's got to hold Heisel, who has good speed there. May sets, checks the runner, and the pitch. Fastball down low. Got some action in the Yankee bullpen. Dick Tidrow, a right-hander, up and throwing. And he's throwing hard. Now the set by May. And the pitch. The runner's going. Inside a ball. Throw the second. Oh, and a ball is off Randolph's glove. Goes out into center field. Heisel's up. And he'll go on to third base. That was a good throw by Munson. Randolph tried to tag the runner before he caught the ball, and it went off his glove. The ball was right on the bag at second base, not into center field. And we'll see who will get the error, as Heisel got up and went on to third base. So give Heisel a stolen base. And the E will be given either to Munson or the second baseman, Randolph. The Yankees will keep their infield back. Of course, they will shift their infield. They've got a runner at third base and only 1 out, and they'll move that infield in and out according to the pitch. Twins lead at 2-0. The ball was high, so they count 2 balls, no strikes on Kuzic. Here's a wind, and the pitch with the infield coming in. The breaking ball is inside. It's 3-0. On deck for the Twins, Butch Weininger, the catcher. Nettles even with the bag at third base. And the infield moves in again. Fastball on the inside corner. It's a strike. 3-1. Twins lead at 2-0, top of the first. The 2-run home run by Dan Ford. They've got Heisel, who was hit by a pitch, stole second, went to third at third base The pitch to Kuzik is hit into right field. That might be far enough. Gamble way out. He's under it. He's got it. Tagging at third base and coming on to score is Larry Heisel, and the Twins lead it 3-0. So give Kuzik a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. Heisel scoring easily from third base. With 2 outs now, the batter's a catcher. Butch Weiniger. He's a switch hitter. He's in batting right-handed against Rudy May. Weiniger 4 for 17. And they give the error to the second baseman, Willie Randolph. Fastball misses inside. So Heisel got a stolen base. The error on a perfect throw from Munson given to Randolph. That allowed Heisel to go to third, and he scored on the sacrifice fly. As Weiniger takes a fastball over for a strike, it's a ball on the strike. May doesn't like the sign. Now he finds one he likes, kicks and deals. He misses inside, 2-1. Twins ahead, 3-0. Top of the first. 2 outs, nobody on. Rudy May rocks, kicks, and deals a 2-1 pitch. Popped up out near second base. Willie Randolph calling. He'd better watch the bag, and he's got it. Randolph puts it away for out number 3. But the Twins score 3 times here in the top of the first on just 1 base hit, 1 Yankee error, and nobody left on base for the Twins. At the end of the half inning, the Twins 3, the Yankees coming up.
Yes, see the man who says yes at your Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Listen, we just had to go down to our Chrysler Plymouth dealer to look over the Volare wagon.
Yeah, that's right. You see, we'd heard Volare wagon has more room and cargo space than any other small American wagon.
So I asked, could that be right?
Yes, Volare wagon has even more room and cargo space than the AMC Sportabout wagon.
Well, that's great, but is it economical?
Yes, your actual mileage may differ, but EPA estimates rate Volare wagon 6 with manual transmission at 30 miles per gallon on the highway and 18 in the city. And that's better gas economy than the Sportabout wagon, too.
When we heard all that, we said yes.
Yes, yes, we're gonna say yes. We're your Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
See the men who say yes at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Well, the Yankees are off tomorrow. They are scheduled to play the Minnesota Twins here, Saturday afternoon. Ed Figueroa will work Saturday. And on Sunday, Catfish Hunter will be on the mound for the Yankees. They'll be opposed by Hughes and Blyleven. Hughes on a Saturday and Blyleven on Sunday. That's a pitching matchup for the rest of this series. Well, the Twins have taken the field. Dave Goltz now out working on the mound as he kicks some dirt around, preparatory to throwing the ball in, and he's just started his warm-up throws. Once again, the Twins lead the Yankees 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning. May walked Terrell on 4 pitches and gave up the home run to Dan Ford. Ford jumping on the first pass ball and really hitting it out into left center field into the Twin bullpen. Then Carew bounced out. Larry Heisel got hit by a curveball, stole second, went on to third when the ball got through Randolph. Randolph picking up the air, and Craig Kuzik drove him in with a sacrifice fly to right field. So the Yankees have their work cut out for them as we go to the bottom half of the first inning with the Twins ahead 1-0. Today's paid attendance, which will be announced sometimes later on, will be the largest Yankee Stadium since the opener on April 19th, 1946, when they had 54,826 fans here. The largest Shea Stadium opener was 52,812 in '66. Of course, the capacity of this stadium, as it's presently constructed, is 54,028. The old Yankee Stadium seated 65,010. Mickey Rivers in against Dave Goltz. Rivers chops one towards second. Dove and knocked down by the second baseman, but he can't make a play. Jerry Terrell dove for the ball, knocked it down, And Rivers will get a base hit. That's Rivers' 4th base hit. He's 4 for 19. And he's 3 for 3 in stolen bases. So Rivers gets an infield hit. He's at first base, leading off with the Yankees here in the bottom of the 1st. That'll bring on Roy White. Roy is 6 for 15 so far with a home run. Twins lead it 3-0. Yankees trying to fight back here in the bottom half of the 1st inning. White a switch hitter in left-handed against Golds. Pitch to him. Misses inside, gets past the catcher, and Rivers will go to second base. That should be a pass ball. And time is called now. Gene Mock, the skipper of the Minnesota Twins, wants to talk to Weiniger, and he wants to talk to Golds. Pitch was just a bit inside, about, I'd say, belt high to White. Weiniger probably just a bit nervous playing in this new stadium. Let that ball get by him, and it is a pass ball charged to the young catcher, Butch Weiniger. So Rivers down at second base with no outs. You count 1 ball and no strikes on Roy White. McKay, the third baseman, on the grass. The rest of the infield back, normal depth. Thompson at shortstop, Terrell at second base, and Rod Carew playing a new position at first. As White hits one on the ground to second, that'll get the runner over. Terrell digs it out and throws on to Carew. White's out. Roy did his job, moved the runner to third base. Rivers is there with 1 away, and the hand is building for Thurman Munson, Yankee catcher. Munson 5 for 18 so far, coming off a great year last year in which he drove in over 100 runs for the first time in his career. He has a home run, 4 runs batted in. He's batting at .278 so far this season. Time's called now. We didn't give you the umpires. The third base umpire, of course, Marty Springstead. The umpire at second base, a rookie, Dale Ford. At first base, Larry Barnett. And umpiring behind the plate, Don Dinkinger. And he's wearing the National League chest protector, which is worn under the shirt. Hey, the left side of the Twin infield shortens up just a bit. The right side playing back. And the pitch to Munson is down low, a ball. Mickey Rivers at third base with 1 down here in the bottom of the 1st. The Twins lead 3-0. On deck for the Yankees, first baseman Chris Chambliss. With a runner at third base, Golds does not wind up. He pitches from the stretch position, and he's in it. And the pitch to Munson. Check swing down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Munson working with a jammed right finger. Gene Mock tested that early, and Munson threw a strike down to second base. It got through Randolph. Next pitch is fouled back. 2-1 on Thurman. So off that throw in that first inning, with Larry Heisel trying to steal second base, Munson's finger's in good shape. Now Golds wants a new baseball, and the home plate umpire, Don Dinkinger, gives him one. Infield still back. Left side shortened up a couple of steps. As Golds sets. 2-1 pitch to Munson. Hit on the ground to third base. Scooped by McKay. Looks the runner back to third. Throws on the first base, and they've got Munson. Good play by the young third baseman. He went to his left, short hopped that ball. Took a look at Mickey Rivers to make sure that he stayed at third base and flipped on to Carew for the putout. So there's 2 down now. Rivers still at third base. And the batter is Chris Chambliss, the Yankee first baseman. Chambliss so far this season is 4 for 18. Got a couple of big hits in that second game win over Baltimore. Hit the ball hard into left center field against Jim Palmer. Left-handed batter. They play him straight away. Twins leading at 3-0. Bottom of the 1st. Rivers at third base with 2 down. Golds now taking a long time looking at Weiniger for a sign. Finally gets it. And the pitch to Chambliss. Bounced up the middle, but the shortstop Thompson's there. Has it behind the bag. Off-balance throw. Pulls Carew off the bag, but he tags Chambliss going by. So the put out 6-3, and the Yankees, after having a man at third base with just 2 outs, with just 1 out, failed to get him in. No runs on the base hit. No errors by the Twins. The Yankees leave a man. At the end of 1, Minnesota 3, the Yankees nothing.
7826000. 7826000. Lincoln Savings Bank.
Retirement department, please?
Those lines are busy, sir. Is this about an individual retirement account?
Yes, is that ad for real?
Yes, sir. If you're not already covered by a pension plan, you can save 15% of your income up to $1,500 a year in a Lincoln retirement account.
And not pay any taxes on it?
No taxes till you retire, not even on the interest. How old are you?
27. How old are you?
Let's see, 27. If you save $1,500 a year, okay?
Well, okay.
At our current rate of 7.75%, at 65, you'll have $373,170.
Oh, wow. Are you members of the FDIC?
Yes, and if you withdraw it quarterly over 10 years, the extra interest brings it to well over $500,000.
$500,000? Guaranteed?
Well, rates change, but the Lincoln guarantees their highest available interest at all times.
What about my Social Security?
Oh, that'll be a fringe benefit.
What about dinner tonight?
Lincoln Savings Bank. 7826000. 7826000.
Dave McKay, the third baseman, leads off against the Yankees, and Rudy May here in the top of the second. The Twins lead it 3-0. McKay 4 for 17 so far, right-handed batter. Swings, and he doesn't get a breaking ball. No balls and a strike on him. Twins with a lot of new faces. Trent and Steve Braun not playing this afternoon. He's over there. Breaking balls are called strike 2. O'May quickly out in front of this right-handed hitter. Here's a wind by the left-hander and the 2-strike pitch. Just misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. McKay is from Vancouver, British Columbia. Swings, and he doesn't get a breaking ball. He went too far. He thought he had held up. Now he turns around, looks at home plate umpire Don Dinkinger, and then walks away. So May picks up his first strikeout. There's 1 away, and that'll bring on Steve Bry, the center fielder. Bry bats right-handed. Last year with the Twins, he hit .252. Takes high ball. The Yankees play him straight away, as they've turned the lights on here at the stadium. Looped into left field. That's going to be in front of White. And he'll get it on the first hop and get it back in, and Bry will hold at first base with a single. Well, the Twins have just picked up their second base hit in the ball game. The first one, of course, the big one, a 2-run home run by Dan Ford. So Bry at first base with hit number 2 for the Twins, and that'll bring on Danny Thompson, the shortstop. Thompson bats right-handed, and he's a pretty good hit-and-run man. Bry has fairly good speed. He's at first base with 1 away. Thompson so far 2 for 17 this season, as Chambliss holds on Bry. May sets. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled in and out of the glove of Thurman Munson. No balls and a strike on Danny Thompson, who backs out, looks at Eddie Lyons, his third base coach. Tony Oliva coaching at first base for the Twins. Of course, if the Twins have a power shortage, they can always bring Oliva back. Here's a 1-strike pitch to Thompson. Fouled off on the right side and out of play. And that makes the upper deck. No balls and 2 strikes. Tony, of course, has had, I don't know how many operations on that right knee, at least 6 over the last 2 or 3 years. And despite that, he managed to hit 280, 290 over the last 3 or 4 years on 1 leg. 2-strike pitch now to Thompson. Breaking balls in the dirt. Runners going. Throw the second. And in. He's safe as the umpire at second base. Dale Ford said that Randolph missed him. And Willie now is out there arguing. Good slide by Steve Bry as he slid on the inside part of the infield. If he'd gone straight in, Randolph would have had him. So give Bry a stolen base. Another good throw by Munson. As that ball was low and in, Thompson had to get out of the way, and Munson got it down to second base in plenty of time. Randolph just a little slow in getting it down. So give Bry a stolen base. He's down at second, one away now, and the count, 1-2 pitch coming to Danny Thompson. Pops it foul off the right side and over the Yankee dugout and back into the crowd. The count remains 1-2. The Yankees have White in left, Rivers in center, and Gamble in right field. They're not playing too deep for Danny Thompson. May sets, checks the runner at second base, and the 1-2 delivery to Thompson. It's a breaking ball, it's outside. The count's all even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Twins ahead, 3-0, and threatening. We're in the top of the second. Now May is ready again. And the 2-2 delivery. Thompson pops it up out behind second base. Mason, the shortstop, backing up and calling. He's under it. He's got it. 2 down. That'll bring on Jerry Terrell, who walked on 4 pitches in the first inning, leading the ball game off. That was followed by Dan Ford's home run. Gave the Twins a quick 2-0 lead. Then Heisel was hit by a pitch, went to second, went to third as Randolph let the ball get through him, scored on a sacrifice fly. So Terrell has not been at bat officially yet, though he has scored a run. May sets and checks Bry at second base, and the pitch now to Jerry Terrell. Breaking ball hit in the air to shallow center. Coming on, the center fielder Rivers, waiting. Puts it away for out number 3. Twins, no runs on a base hit, and the man left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. Twins lead the Yankees 3-0.
I want a beer like no other beer. I'm Schaefer people. I want flavor that won't disappear. I'm Schaefer people.
Consistency makes a great beer, and Schaefer's consistently great tasting every single time because Schaefer's brewed the old world way. Kreuzening, we call it. Since 1842, Kreuzening, the extra step of brewing twice, has kept Schaefer consistently fresh and crisp, consistently great tasting beer after Schaefer beer.
I want a beer like no other beer. I'm Schaefer people. I want flavor that won't disappear. I'm Schaefer people. Schaefer beer goes straight to your thirst. Your last one tastes as good as your first. Go out and get a Schaefer and be Schaefer people too. Go out and get a Schaefer and be Schaefer people too.
F&M Schaefer Brewing Company, New York, New York.
Now, when you come out to Yankee Stadium, be sure to pick up your new 1976 Yankee Yearbook. That book is more than just a yearbook. It's got exciting color pictures of all the Yankee stars, plus records, biographies, and special features. The most exciting special feature of all is a full-color insert section on this new Yankee Stadium. It's a special look at this great new ballpark. Now, the Yankee Yearbook still just costs $1.50 here at the park, or $2 by mail. If you want it by mail, send $2 to Yankee Yearbook, Post Office Box 1976, Bronx Central Post Office, Bronx, New York 10451. Right now, and reserve your copy of the new Yankee Yearbook. Greg Nettles against Dave Goltz, bottom of the second. The Twins lead 3-0. Nettles takes a breaking ball low. Greg, so far this year, 2 for 13. One of those hits, a home run down in Baltimore. Takes a slider inside that backs him out. 2 balls, no strikes. Nettles has driven in 3 runs so far this year. Last year he drove in 91 for the Yankees. Goltz misses down low with the fastball, and he must have lost his footing because he spun around after he let the ball go. So it's 3-0 on Nettles. We'll get Nettles, Gamble, and then Willie Randolph for the Yankees in the bottom of the second inning. Golds winds, kicks and deals a 3-0 pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. 3-1. They're playing Nettles to pull in the outfield. Ford way around toward the line in right field. Bry open right center. Nettles swings, and he doesn't get a slider. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the left fielder Heisel way over in left center field. Now Golds backs off. He wants to work the baseball over. In case some of our listeners in Patterson, New Jersey wonder where Johnny Briggs is. Johnny ended last season with the Minnesota Twins. He's playing baseball in Japan. Payoff pitch. Nettles swings, and he doesn't get it. He goes down swinging. 1 away. Here's Oscar Gamble, the right fielder. Gamble, splitting right field with Lou Piniella, is 3-for-9 so far in the season. That averages out to .333. Left-handed batter. They play him the same way they played Nettles, to pull in the outfield. Golds winds, kicks and deals. A fastball that sails outside. Twins ahead, 3-0. The bottom of the second. They have 3 runs on 2 hits. The Yankees no runs on 1 hit. On deck, Willie Randolph. Golds taking a lot of time. Now he's ready. The pitch is inside. Almost got Gamble on the knee. It's 2-0. 1 out, nobody on here in the second inning. Twins lead 3-0. Here's a 2-0 delivery to Gamble. Swung on, line, knocked down by Carew, but there'll not be a play. The second baseman, Terrell, ran the ball down out in short right field, but not in time to get Oscar Gamble. So Gamble's now 4 for 10. In fact, Gold stopped halfway between the pitching mound and home plate. Nobody was at first to catch the ball. Should Terrell have thrown it there. So Gamble picks up the Yankees' second base hit. He's at first base. And the batter is Willie Randolph, the second baseman. Randolph 2 for 11 so far. One of those, a shot hit into the seats down in Baltimore, a home run. This kid's going to be around a long time. Throw the first base and Gamble's back. Willie hits with power, fields, has good speed, does just about everything you ask a ball player to do. Chops one foul outside third. Backhanded in foul territory by the third baseman, Dave McKay. No balls and a strike on Randolph. Gamble back to first base. He's being held there by Rod Carew. We'll give you a station break in just a moment. Gold's taking a lot of time. The right-hander sets, checks Gamble, and the pitch to Randolph. A breaking ball is down low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Willie Randolph. Infield back looking for Dewey, except the third baseman, McKay. He's in even with the bag. And, of course, the first baseman, Carew, has to hold Gamble there. And now the set. And the 1-1 pitch to Randolph. Bounced foul outside of third. Let's take 15 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Home of Champions Radio Network.
This is WMCA, Strauss Communications in New York. Hi, this is Mel Allen. Don't get caught off base because of the air freight company you use. Call Emory, the shortest distance between 2 points.
1 ball, 2 strikes, a count on Willie Randolph. Gamble at first base with 1 out. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. The Twins lead the Yankees 3-0. Gold's taking a lot of time finding a sign. Now he sets and the pitch. Hit on the ground to second. Might be 2. Terrell to the shortstop Thompson for 1. Back to first, not in time. Gamble went in and upset Thompson just a bit, and the shortstop had trouble getting the ball out of the glove. But they do, the Twins, get the force at second, 4-6. Randolph on at first base with the fielder's choice, and the batter, designated hitter Rich Coggins. Coggins making his first appearance at the plate for the Yankees here in 1976 to the official opening. They play him straight away in the outfield and infield. Third baseman McKay still shortened up. Coggins bats left-handed. Throw the first base, and Randolph is back. Now, Billy Martin doesn't mind moving his runners, despite the fact the Yankees may be behind 3-0. Nope, he doesn't go. Ball's drilled into center field. Bry's there, though, and he's got it for out number 3. Coggins hit the ball hard, but right to Steve Bry. No runs on a base hit. The Yankees leave 1. At the end of 2, it's the Twins 3. The Yankees, nothing.
Hello, I'm Roger Miller for Gabriel Striders to tell you now's a great time to check your shock absorbers because we've got a terrific deal for you. Buy 3 Striders and we'll give you the 4th one free. You save 25%. Striders are Gabriel's finest quality shocks. Road and Track magazine picked them overall winners of all shocks tested on a 74 Corvette. They're the 3-position adjustable shocks you can custom tune to the way you drive. Gabriel Striders. Buy 3 now, get the 4th one free wherever you see me on the Gabriel Buy 3, Get 1 Free sign. Offer good at participating dealers in the U.S. only. Ends May 31st. Gabriel Striders. King of the road. Have Gabriel shock absorbers installed where you have your car serviced. You'll discover the difference quality, design, and manufacturing can make in a shock absorber.
Well, we'd like to say hello to our Yankee fans and Yankee listeners in Dunkirk, listening on WDOE, and also in Cortland, WKRT, and in Corning, WCLI. And in Riverhead, WRIV. Rome, New York, WRNY. Right now, top of the 3rd, Twins ahead 3-0. And the pitch to Dan Ford is swung on and missed. Ford's caused all the trouble for Rudy May and the Yankees by jumping on the first pitch in the very first inning after Terrell had walked and hit a 2-run home run. And the changeup misses inside. It's 1-1. Rudy not going with that fastball now. He's showing him change of speeds. They play him to pull in the outfield. May's 1-1 delivery. Breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1 pitch to Dan Ford. Fastball is low. 3 balls and a strike. Lights are on here at Yankee Stadium as the 3-1 pitch comes on. Called strike 2 on the outside corner. Ford had started toward first base, but Don Dinginger, the home plate umpire, called him back. Doesn't look like there's an empty seat in this ballpark. Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. Ford goes down swinging at a good fastball. 1 down. May's 2nd strikeout in the ball game, and that'll bring on Rod Carew, the first baseman. Carew's been up once, bounced to Chambliss at first base, and Chambliss threw it to May covering for an out. So Rod Carew is 0 for 1. Left-handed batter. Takes a breaking ball that's too low. Well, they've been trying to get Carew off of second base for a lot of years. They finally got him this year. He takes low. 2 balls, no strikes. They've tried to move Carew to third base. They've tried to move him to the outfield. Well, they finally convinced him this year to move to first base. Doesn't make any difference where he plays. He's going to get 200 hits. He'll end up top of the league in hitting. Fastball is up and in. Knocks him out of there. It's 3-0. Lifetime batting average of .328. That's tops among the active players. Fastball is inside. Ball 4. And that's high up among inactive players. So Carew walks on 4 pitches. He's at first base with 1 down. That'll bring on Larry Heisel. He's playing left field. Hit by a pitch, stole second, went to third on the air as the ball got into center field and scored on a sacrifice fly. Well, he hasn't been up at bat officially yet. Right-handed batter. 3-0 Twins here in the top of the third. Carew with a good-sized lead there at first base. He's being held by Chambliss. May sets, and the pitch. Too high with a fastball. One out, one on.
And once again, Dick Tidrow gets up and starts loosening up in the Yankee bullpen in center field. The pitch, chop foul. Hit in front of the plate, hit Heisel, and hit Munson's glove, bounced out toward the mound. Thurn fixed up and flips it back to Rudy May. They count a ball and a strike on Heisel.
Carew moving off first. He's checked by May. And May goes to first base and Carew's back easily. Now Rudy bends forward, straightens up, and stops at the belt. The pitch, there goes a runner. Breaking ball is outside. Throw the second into center field. Getting up and going to third base is Rod Carew as Rivers hustles that ball into the infield. That should be and will be an error on Munson. Ball's just thrown a little high as the Twins continuing to run. Of course, Mock realizes, Mock the skipper of the Twins, that this is Munson's first opportunity to catch in quite a while. I believe Thurman was hurt after the first exhibition game, and he was a designated hitter all through there and all through the first 4 ball games. So Munson threw that one into center field. So give Carew a stolen base, give Munson that error. Oh, the Twins now have a runner at third with just one away, and the count 2 balls and a strike on Larry Heisel, and the Yankees decide to bring their infield in. That's Nettles, Mace, Randolph, and Chambliss all around the infield grass as Mace sets. And the 2-1 pitch to Heisel. It's a breaking ball. It's too high. 3-1. On deck is Craig Kusick, the designated hitter. May sets. And the 3-1 pitch to Heisel. Swung on and missed a good breaking ball by May, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now May needs a strikeout or a pop-up here. Twins have Carew at third base with 1 away as May sets. And the payoff pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, ball 4. And here comes Billy Martin. Heisel walks. The 3rd walk given up by Rudy May. Heisel at first base. Carew on at third with 1 away. And that's going to be all for Rudy May. May leaves, and the pitcher will be Dick Tidrow. So the new pitcher, Dick Tidrow, is making his way to the mound. And while Dick Tidrow is making his way to the mound, we'd like to tell you where you can get tickets to a Yankee baseball game. Of course, the Yankee Stadium ticket office is open from 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, and from 10 to 5 on Sunday. Now, the Grand Central ticket office is open from 9 to 5:30 on weekdays, and from 10 to 4 on Saturdays. You can also get tickets at all Ticketron outlets in the metropolitan area. At the North Jersey Automobile Club in Oradell, Patterson, and Jersey City. Through Westchester Tours in White Plains, at the branches of the Bank of Smithtown, at the Bergen News in Palisades Park, New Jersey, Welcome Aboard Vacation Centers in Meriden and New Britain, Connecticut, and through Globe Travel Service in Bristol. Now, if you can't get to any of these places and you'd like to get Yankee tickets by mail, by the way, box seats are $5.50 or $5. Reserve seats are $4.50 or $4. All right, ticket manager, New York Yankees, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, 10451. Be sure to specify the game you want, how many tickets you want, and at which price range, then add 25 cents to the total order for postage and handling. May's gone, and Tidrow now will take his warm-up throws. So Rudy goes just 2 1/3 innings. He gives up 3 runs, and the runner's on. That's Crew at third and Heisel at first. Would be his responsibility. On just 2 base hits, he struck out 2, and he walked 3. Of course, wildness got him into a bit of trouble because he walked Terrell on 4 pitches leading off the ball game. Gave up the home run to Dan Ford. It made it 2-0 Twins. Then he hit Heisel with a pitch. Heisel promptly stole second, went to third, and Randolph bobbled the ball and scored on a sacrifice fly. And then in the third, his undoing was the 1-out walk to Rod Carew. Carew stole second, and Munson threw the ball into center field, allowing Carew to go to third base. And he walked Larry Heisel on a 3-2 pitch. Oh, the Twins have runners at first and third with just 1 out. And we talked earlier about Steve Braun and said that he was on the Twins bench, and right now he's in there. He's going to pinch hit for Craig Cusick. Braun, a left-handed hitter, batting for Cusick here in the third inning. As the Twins, despite the fact that they're leading 3-0, want some more runs. So Braun will become the Twins' designated hitter. Tidrow has just finished his warm-up tosses, and Braun will step in. Netto's in close at third base. Chambliss holding on the runner at first. Mason and Randolph, the shortstop and second baseman, back looking for 2. As Tidrow sets. And the pitch to Braun. Misses outside, a ball. Tidrow works everybody outside. Works away from left-handers and away from right-handers. Braun has been at bat 12 times. He has 1 base hit. Now the set by Tidrow and the pitch. Hit on a ground to first base. Chambliss backhands. His throw to second for 1, and there is no play back to first base. And on the play, Carew scores, and the Twins lead it 4-0. Good play by Chambliss. He was holding the runner on, but when he flipped the ball to Mason at second base, forcing Heisel, nobody covered first base, and there could not be a throw back there. So a run scores. 2 outs. Put out down at second. 3-6. Braun on at first base, give him an RBI. And the batter is Butch Weiniger, the catcher. He's been up once, popped to second. Tidrow sets. And the pitch to Weiniger. Called strike on the outside corner. Weiniger, a switch hitter, batted right-handed against Rudy May, the starter, in the first inning. He's in there left-handed now against the right-hander Tidrow. Here's a 1-strike pitch. Check swing down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Twins 4, Yankees 0. Top half the third inning. Tidrow sets, throws to first base, and Braun gets back. Tidrow is a big fella. He goes 6'5". Another throw to first base, and Braun is back. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Braun moving off first. Not too big a lead there. Braun does not have that much speed. Here's a pitch. Down low, it's 3-1. On deck, Dave McKay, the third baseman. The Twins scored that run here in the third inning without the benefit of a base hit. A walk, a stolen base, an error, another walk, and a fielder's choice. 3-1 delivery. Swung on, bounced towards second. Randolph scoops it up, looks at it, flips to Chambliss, got him. Weiniger bounces out 4-3. Twins pick up a run on no hits, 1 Yankee error, and a man left on base. We go to the bottom half of the third inning. The Minnesota Twins 4, the New York Yankees 0.
In a time you knew you chocolate drink.
Do yourself a favor, enjoy the super flavor of America's favorite chocolate drink. It's got real goodness, protein goodness, and cool, refreshing taste. It's the chocolate charge up that's non-carbonated. Doesn't even have to be refrigerated. So isn't it time to do Yoo-hoo? Yoo-hoo chocolate drink. It's so delicious. Yoo-hoo chocolate drink.
Isn't it time you tried Yoo-hoo, America's favorite chocolate drink? Rich and creamy, cool and refreshing. Yoo-hoo's the action drink for action people. Yogi Berra's favorite soft drink. Contains high-quality protein and made with 99% fat-free milk. Drink Yoo-hoo and keep your action going.
So isn't it time you do Yoo-hoo? Yoo-hoo chocolate drink. It's so delicious. Yoo-hoo chocolate drink. Yoo-hoo!
Get Yoo-hoo, the drink of champions. It's Yogi Berra's favorite soft drink. Make it yours.
Well, if you'd like information on Yankee season tickets, or if you're thinking about bringing a group to a Yankee game, the group sales department is on duty right now. Call Yankee Stadium at 212-293-4300. The staff is standing by to help you plan your outing here at the new Yankee Stadium. Well, Jim Mason will try to get something started for the Yankees as we're in the bottom half of the third inning. Twins leading 4-0. They got 3 runs in the top of the first against Rudy May, added 1 more in the top of this inning. So far, the Yankees have 2 base hits, an infield hit by Mickey Rivers leading the ball game off, and another infield hit by Oscar Gamble as he banged one off the glove of first baseman Rod Carew. Mason is 1 for 6 so far. Hits one to right field, going back to right fielder Ford. It's over his head and up against the wall. Throw into second base is going to be close. Mason dives and he's saved. Jim Mason jumping on the first pitch and lined it over the head of the right fielder, Dan Ford. 1 hop up against the wall. Ford did a good job of going back. That ball came off fast to him, and of course Yankee outfielders have got to watch that. That ball really comes back to him off that wall, and he threw in the second base. A perfect throw there. Mason had to slide for a double. Here's Mickey Rivers. Rivers got an infield hit in the first inning, so he's 1 for 1. That was his 4th base hit of the season. 4 for 19. Third baseman McKay shortens up. So does the shortstop. He moves a couple of steps in. Rivers likes to slap that ball that way on the left side. Second baseman Terrell and the first baseman Carew playing back. Gold sets and then backs off. And Rivers backs out. The time is called. The Yankees have had at least 1 base runner, and each inning they had an opportunity to score. In the first inning, when Rivers got to third base with only 1 away, but Munson bounced out, and so did Chambliss. Rivers takes a breaking ball that's too high. Mason moving off second base. Goltz takes a long time between pitches. Now he deals. Fastball is popped foul back over our heads and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rivers. The Yankees have played 4 games so far. They've won 3 of them as Rivers changes bats. Went to his home run bat, maybe. The Yankees need the long ball here. They're down 4-0. Mason moving off second base with no outs, bottom of the third. Pitch to Rivers. Down low. 2-1. Of course, Rivers did hit 1 home run last year for the California Angels. He drove in 53 runs for the Angels, in addition to stealing 70 bases in 84 attempts. Hits from a crouch. Always moving his feet. Here's a 2-1 pitch to him. Swung on line, base hit right field. Mason digging around third base. He's going to be held there, and they might get him to throw to third, but he's back. Rivers has to hold at first base. Dick Hauser went halfway down. He knows Dan Ford has a pretty good arm, and he held Mason wisely at third base on that ground single to right field by Mickey Rivers. So the Yankees have runners at first and third and nobody out, and the batter Roy White. I don't know what bat Rivers used, but he better keep it. Really shot that ball past Carew, the first baseman, and the second baseman, Jerry Terrell. The Yankees threatening now in the bottom of the third. Runners at first and third. Nobody out as Roy White steps in. He's been up once, bounced to second. Now the set by Goltz and the pitch. A breaking ball that just nipped the outside corner. And we're going to get some action in the Twin bullpen. Gold sets. Pitch to White. Another breaking ball. Swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes. A left-hander warming up for the Twins. Looks like Vic Albury getting loose for Minnesota. 2 strikes you count on White. Runners lead. 2-strike pitch. Fastball inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jim Mason at third base. Mickey Rivers on at first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Twins have taken a 4-0 lead. Yankees threatening. Goltz now taking a lot of time. Now he sets. Pitch. There goes Rivers. Line foul over Ellie Howard's head. Foul ground. Kicks up against the tarp and bounces back on the field. And the count remains 1-2. Yankees had Rivers running on that pitch. Ellie Howard watching Rivers. White got a pitch inside and lined it over Howard's head. And Ellie, the first base coach, had to duck quickly. Well, the count's still 1-2. Now time is called. McKay, the third baseman, has to say something to Thompson, the shortstop. A little short, quick conference. Mason at third base, Rivers at first. Gold sets and fakes a throw to third, spins and fakes a throw to first base, and nobody's moving. They also back off. Well, Twins have some trick plays. Pitch. Curveball, bounce to first base. Carew scoops, goes to second for 1. Now Mason scores as the throw back to first base is not in time. And the Yankees have gotten on the board. Carew came up with that ball, didn't look home at all. Mason, as soon as he saw Carew spin and go to second base, he came on and scored. And White was safe at first. So White gets a fielder's choice and a run batted in. Mason scoring. Rivers is forced at second base, 3-6 for the first out here in the third inning. Twins now lead it 4-1. Here's Munson, who bounced to third in the second inning. Albury continues to get loose for the Twins in their bullpen out in left center field. Pitch to Munson. Chopped foul outside third base. Well, the Yankees have out-hit the Twins, but the Twins have outscored the Yankees. Goltz now gets a new baseball. Looks over his right shoulder at White. Carew holding White at first base. Now the set. Throw the first base. White is back. Goltz is ready again. And the pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Munson. Wind blowing toward left field. One delivery. Swung on, bounced back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Munson. One ball and 2 strikes on Munson. 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom half of the third inning. The Twins lead 4-1. Now Goltz is ready. And the pitch. Breaking ball down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Munson. Thurman so far, 5 for 19. Thurman hit a home run down in Baltimore. He has 4 runs batted in. 2-2 pitch to him. Swung on, 1 hopper to the shortstop. He digs it up to second for 1. Back to first, double play. 6-4 to 3 double play, and the Twins get out of the inning. Yankees do get a run on 2 base hits. The Yankees don't leave anybody. We played 3, and at the end of 3, the Twins 4, the Yankees 1.
Hey, Frank, get your hands off my Butterfinger.
But it looks so good.
Well, get your own Butterfinger.
Hey, Phil, you're always saying you gotta earn a Butterfinger.
Yep.
Well, I haven't seen you earn this Butterfinger. With its crispy layers of peanut butter, crunchy candy, chocolatey coating, I haven't seen you do any good deeds today.
Well, what do you want me to do? Help an old lady across home plate?
It's better to give than receive, right?
Yep.
Give me this Butterfinger, and you'll earn your next one. It's so good, you've gotta earn it.
If all you need is money, come on into HFC.
Sometimes the things you really want seem so close. If only you had a little extra money. That's why at Household Finance, we'll do everything we can to make you a loan. We believe that money shouldn't come between you and what you want out of life. HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
So come on in, come on in, come on in to HFC.
Well, at the end of 3 innings of play here at the new Yankee Stadium, the Twins have 4 runs on 2 hits, and the Yankees 1 run on 4 hits. And the Yankees committed a couple of errors. So it's 4-1 Twins as we go into the top half of the 4th inning. And here to take you over the next 3 innings is Scooter, Phil Rizzuto.
Okay, William, and been an exciting day so far. Not in favor of the Yankee fans or Billy Martin and the Yankee ball players. They trail 4-1. And leading off will be Dave McKay, who struck out his first time up. McKay, a right-hand batter. Dick Tidrow in relief of Rudy May. And the first pitch is low and inside, ball 1. Rudy had not pitched till since April the 3rd, and anytime Rudy's control is off, and it's bound to be when you haven't pitched in better than 2 weeks. There's one loop to shallow center, and Mickey no, Mason out, makes the catch, 1 away.
The center fielder, Steve Bry.
That'll bring up Steve Bry, the center fielder. Bry singled and stole a base in the 2nd inning. Right-hand batter. And the pitch is fouled over in the Twin dugout. 1 out, nobody on. 4-1, Minnesota leading. We're in the top of the 4th. Still a long ways to go in this ball game. The pitch is low, ball 2. Right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network.
WMCA Strauss Communications in New York. This is Long John Neville.
And this is Candy Jones.
Join us each night at midnight
For the best in radio.
Yes, the very best.
All right, the next pitch to Bry is low and outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Tidrow winds. And check swing ground ball. Tidrow will have to hurry. He gets it, throws to first. They got him. That was a weird play. The ball had gone by Tidrow. He had to run after it, pick it up, wheel around, and throw to first. But he made the play. And that's 2 away, and the batter, Danny Thompson. Danny popped a short his first time up. Danny, right-hand batter, takes a strike on the inside corner. They want want to take a look at that ball. Oh, and it almost hit the umpire. Good thing he kept his mask on. Tidrow fired it in. He's got a big grin on his face. And they throw that ball out of play. 2 out, nobody on. Tidrow winds. And the pitch is inside 1-1. Danny Thompson almost had to leave baseball because of a touch of leukemia. There's a swing. He did swing. Yes, he did, as the home plate umpire asked Larry Barnett, the first base umpire. And he said he went around. The next pitch is fouled back in the upper deck and out of play. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tidrow into the windup, and the curve is over. Strike 3 call. Oh, a good inning for Tidrow. And for the Twins, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left at the end of 3.5. Minnesota 4 and the Yankees 1.
1971, Jack in the Box restaurants wake up the fast food industry with the Breakfast Jack sandwich. 1972, the Jumbo Jack hamburger makes history. 1973, it's the Big Shake. 1974, the Jack Steak Sandwich makes its debut. 1975, the year of the Super Taco. Year after year, Jack in the Box marches on. Watch out, McDonald's.
Fairchild, a world leader in miniaturized electronics, presents a new kind of digital timepiece, truly slim, incredibly beautiful. A precise 5-function timepiece built by Fairchild, one of the world's leading suppliers of precision electronics. One button tells you hours, minutes, seconds, months, and dates. Comes in a complete line of men's and women's styles, yellow and white finishes. Extremely durable, water and scratch tested, priced from only $115. When it's time, think Fairchild at distinctive jewelers everywhere.
All right, we get ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. Twins out in front 4-1. They scored 3 runs in the first inning on just 1 base hit, a 2-run homer by Dan Ford. They scored their other run in the 3rd inning without the benefit of a base hit. A walk, a stolen base, a throwing error by Munson, and then a ground out by Steve Braun to drive in the run. Chris Chambliss, who bounced to short his first time up, the batter. Beautiful new Yankee Stadium. Capacity crowd. The lights are on, by the way. A little overcast, but weather ideal. Temperature in the 70s. All right, Dave Goltz delivers. It's right down the middle, strike call. First time I've ever broadcast a ball game standing up. Curve bounced slowly down the first base line. Carew one-hands it, makes the play unassisted, and there's 1 away. That brings up Greg Nettles, who struck out his first time up. Well, the Yankees out hitting the Minnesota Twins 4-2, but 2 errors have been costly for the Yankees. On deck, Oscar Gamble. And Nettles takes a pitch outside, ball 1. They give Greg a lot of room down the left field line. Low, ball 2, 2-0. The left fielder, Larry Heisel, way over in left center. And the center fielder, Steve Bry, over in right center. And Dan Ford close to the line in right field. Kick and the pitch, pull foul past Elson Howard again. 2 balls and a strike. One out, nobody on. 4-1. Twins lead the Yankees. Low and inside, 3-1. Big right-hander. No windup. The pitch is outside, ball 4, and Nettles is on. That's the first walk given up by Goltz in the ball game. He has struck out one man. Oscar Gamble, who's single to right field, his first time up. Gamble the batter and Willie Randolph on deck. They're not bothering to hold Nettles too close to first. The kick and the pitch is in there, strike one called. Great to see Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle back again. Goltz delivers, and it's low, 1-1. Also Mel Allen, all the old Yankees from the 1923 team. Frank Gifford and Kyle Rote. The Brown Bomber, Joe Louis, too. All right, Nettles with a big lead off first. 1-1 the count. Pitch bounced. Pass Carew down the right field line. That's going to be trouble. It gets by Ford, and Nettles is going to score. Gamble's going to try for 3, and he's going to make it. Gamble hit one right by Ride Carew. It rolled around the wall down the right field line. Nettles scored, and Gamble went all the way into third. And it's a 4-2 ball game now. And the Yankees have a runner at third with only 1 out. You could say Rod Carew has not played too much first base, trying to field that ball on the side. And the batter, Willie Randolph. Randolph bounced to second base his first time up. Only 1 out. And that was a base hit for Oscar Gamble as they just put it up on the board. Gold sets the pitch to Randolph. High, ball 1. So it looks like that's a triple all the way. There's been no error put up on the board. Gamble leads away. The pitch to Randolph. Swing and a foul back, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 run in. Twins in front, 4-2. Gamble leads off third. Here's the stretch by Goltz. Curve is low, 2 balls and a strike. Carew even with the bag at first. Dave McKay even with the bag at third, and Thompson and Terrell are playing halfway at short and second. The right-hander ready. High and tight, ball 3, 3-1. And on deck, Rich Coggins. And Goltz now starts snapping at that ball when it's thrown back by his catcher. Three and 1 the count. The stretch and the pitch, strike 2 called. A good fastball, let her high. Oh, Willie Randolph got to protect that plate. Goltz pitching from a stretch position. The payoff pitch. Line drive, base hit, left center field. That'll get Gamble in easily, and Randolph makes a big turn and comes back. And it's a 4-3 ball game now in favor of the Twins. Willie Randolph on a 3-2 pitch lined a base hit in the left center field. That brings up Rich Coggins, who lined hard to center field his first time up. Well, the Yankees bouncing back now. They narrow the deficit to 1 run on deck, Jim Mason. Randolph likes to run. Quick throw to first. Willie's back. And the Yankee fans start the rhythmic applause. Another throw to first. Randolph back easily. Coggins takes a deep breath at the plate. He's going. The pitch is outside. Throw to second will not be in time. And Randolph started for third, went back. It's a stolen base for Willie Randolph. He got down there ahead of the ball, and the ball hit him as he slid in. It did not roll too far, so Willie Randolph gets a stolen base. The pitch to Coggins was a ball. Beautiful head-first slide by Willie Randolph. And the Twins got a break there because when the ball hit Willie, it kicked out towards left field, but not too far. And here comes Gene Mauch out to the mound. They have a left-hander loosening up in the bullpen, and Mauch looks out there as he walks out towards the mound. He is looking, and it looks, yes, he makes the sign. That's going to be all for Dave Goltz. He had the Yankees for 3 innings, but here in the 4th, the Yankees have exploded. They have a runner at second with 1 out. They trail in the ball game 4-3. And right now, the new pitcher is making his way to the mound.
You're gonna be surprised, but don't be surprised by the nice little extras from AMCO.
Lots of places don't understand foreign transmissions, but at AMCO they spoke my car's language. AMCO services most foreign cars. Yes, they do.
WMCA, get the nice little extras from AMCO.
Most foreign cars, as well as all American makes, are serviced at the AMCO transmission centers in the greater New York area. Don't be surprised by the nice little extras at AMCO. They do things right.
If all you need is money, come on into HFC.
When you get hit with bills all at once, strike back with a bill payer loan from HFC, an equal opportunity lender. We could make that big payment so you can handle one smaller monthly payment.
So come on in, come on in, come on in to HFC.
Household finance, where people use our money to get the most out of life.
Come on in to HFC.
The new pitcher will be a left-hander, Vic Albury. Albury's got that sidearm delivery. He's tough on left-handers. Born in Key West, Florida. 6 feet tall and 190 pounds. Last year, won 6, lost 7, had 1 save. And let's see, Rich Coggins was up there, but looks like he might have been called back. He has been, and Lou Piniella is coming up to bat for Rich Coggins. Lou Piniella, who is off to a fine start this year, hitting .625, 5 for 8, a double, a triple, and 2 runs batted in. While Albury's loosening up and Piniella getting ready to pinch hit for Coggins, a reminder, a lot of the Yankee ball players and coaches are looking for homes in the metropolitan area. And if any of you good folks out there have a furnished apartment or a home that you'd like to rent to some of the Yankees, we'd appreciate it if you'd send a letter or call the Yankees and let them know what you have available, where it is, and just how much you're charging. This is a tough time. You know, the ball players would love to have their families with them, but if they're living in a hotel, it's no fun. So please, if you have anything available, you might be going down the shore for the summer or taking a trip, ball players will take good care of your homes. Right now, Lou Piniella steps in. The count on Coggins was 1 ball and no strikes. At second base is Willie Randolph. There's 1 out. The Twins are leading the Yankees 4-3. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. All right, Albury gets the sign. The kick and the pitch bounce foul over in the Twin dugout, strike 1. Albury gives you a lot of motion, and you got to wait a little longer on the pitch. Not quite as much motion as, say, an Eddie Lopat, but still you watch his legs and his knees and his arm, and if you don't wait, you're way out in front. 1-1 the count on Piniella. He wheels, throws to second, but Randolph is back. So Piniella steps out of the box. One ball, one strike, one out. Outfield straight away on Piniella. And as we told you down in Baltimore in the early games, Piniella has really been pulling that ball. But he can go the opposite way if you give him a pitch away from him. There's a base hit to left field, and Randolph is going to try it. The throw will not be in time, and the Yankees have tied it up. Lou Piniella pulled that ball a bullet to left field. Willie Randolph scores, and we got a tie ball game. So Lou Piniella didn't waste much time. And that run is charged to Dave Goltz, by the way. So his record is complete in 3 1/3 innings. Goltz gave up 6 hits. He walked 1, struck out 1, and was charged with 4 runs. So Goltz will not be the winner or the loser. And here comes Otto Velez, or in Spanish it's pronounced Velez, to bat for Jim Mason. And remember, Mason had hit that bullet over Dan Ford's head in right field, 1 hop against the 353-foot sign, and scored in the 3rd inning. So that means Stanley will probably come out and play shortstop. Otto has been about 1 time without a base hit, a right-hand batter. There's a foul back and out of play. Lou Piniella at first base. Piniella now 6 for 9 on the year. And for Lou, that gives him 3 runs batted in. More importantly, it tied up the ball game. Twins scored 3 in the first, 1 in the 3rd. The Yankees scored 1 in the 3rd, 3 here in the 4th. Low, good stop. There goes Piniella. The throw to second, not in time, and Pinella's in. And that'll probably go as a wild pitch as the curveball hit the dirt. But I tell you, the new trim slim Lou Piniella was really alert. That ball did not bounce too far away from the catcher Butch Winiger. Weiniger, I guess it is. A wild pitch. So the Yankees taking advantage of every opportunity here in the bottom of the 4th. Have tied it up 4-4. 1-1 on Velez. Change-up, pull foul outside of 3rd. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, Mickey Rivers. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Piniella leading off second base. Albury with a long look in for the sign. Still looking. Now Velez steps out as Piniella walks back to second base. One ball, 2 strikes to count. Albury sets. Curve is a little bit high. It's 2-2. That time he came overhand with the breaking pitch. Piniella with a big lead at second base. Albury sets the kick and the curve outside. It's 3-2. Vic Albury trying to be a little too fine with Otto Velez. Full count now on Otto. Velez with good power. Pulls that bat right down in the end. Ready for the payoff pitch. Here it is. Base hit left center field. That'll score Piniella, and the Yankees are out in front 5-4. Holy cow, the Yankees really coming through here in the fourth inning. That's 4 consecutive base hits for the Yankees, 2 by pinch hitters, so Billy Martin really has his crystal ball working for him. 8 hits for the Yankees. And the batter will be Mickey Rivers, who is 2 for 2. He singled off the glove of Jerry Terrell in the first inning and lined a single to right in the third. And they're stalling a little bit out there on the mound. Butch Weiniger and Vic Albury, while they get some action out in the Twins bullpen. And in a moment, the umpire is going to go out there. No, he doesn't even have to. They break up the huddle. And let's see. We got a runner for Otto Velez. Fred Stanley, who will stay in the ball game and play shortstop. Mike Pasek, former Yankee property, big left-hander, loosening up in the bullpen. Mickey Rivers, the batter. Carew holds Stanley at first base. In at third is Dave McKay. And Mickey Rivers likes to Baltimore chop that ball over the third baseman's head. The stretch and the pitch. He fouls one back to our left and out of play. Looks good to see this beautiful new ballpark full of people. 1 out. Yankees 5, Twins 4, bottom of the fourth. Albury sets. Low and outside, 1-1. On deck, Roy White. Dick Hauser flashing the signs to Mickey Rivers. Stanley leads away. The kick and the pitch is low and outside. Ball 2, 2-1. Albury, being very deliberate, walks back on the grass, fingers to the mouth. That's the only place you're allowed to do it. If you do it on the dirt part of the pitching mound or the rubber, it's an automatic ball. His pitch is hit in the air to right center field. Moving to his left is Bry, deep, and makes the catch. Stanley all the way around second, heading back to first to throw. And Stanley has to slide back into first base. Mickey Rivers put the wood to that one on the warning track right in front of the 385-foot sign. That's the second out here in the bottom of the fourth. And now Roy White, who will bat right-handed for the first time in this game. Roy batting left-handed, bounced to second and bounced to first, but he did get credit for a run batted in. And on deck, Thurman Munson. Stanley at first with 2 out. Pitch is fouled back in the crowd and out of play in the upper deck and back of first base. Massive humanity all over this ballpark. I tell you, that's an exciting place to sit now in the upper deck here at the stadium. It was always exciting, but they added about 10 or 12 rows to the upper deck. With 2 outs, Stanley leads at first. The kick and the pitch is a curve over, strike called, 0-2. Roy White chokes up on the bat. That pigeon-toed stance of his. Albury ready. Fastball foul down the right field line. That'll be back into the crowd. Balls are really carrying here today. When the game started, the wind was blowing towards left field. It switched around now. It seems to be blowing more towards center or right center field. And by the fences being moved in, it's already given a home run to Dan Ford. Again, the 0-2 delivery. Bounce, foul outside of third. Still nothing in 2 the count. Herman Munson on deck, adjusting his golf glove. Stanley at first base, 2 out. Yankees lead at 5-4, bottom of the 4th. Throw to first, Stanley's back. Albury ready. High, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield straight away on Roy. Another throw to first, but Stanley back. Two strikes, 2 out. 4 big runs in here in the bottom of the 4th. Albury delivers. It's a curved ground ball to second base. Terrell up with it. Over to Carew. Roy White is retired, but not before the Yankees pick up 4 runs on 4 base hits. No errors and a man left, and at the end of 4, it's the Yankees 5 and the Twins 4.
If all you need is money, come on into HFC.
When you get hit with bills all at once, strike back with a bill payer loan from HFC, an equal opportunity lender. We could make that big payment so you can handle one smaller monthly payment.
So come on in, come on in, come on in to HFC.
Household Finance, where people use our money to get the most out of life.
Come on in to HFC.
Polly-O sets a great Italian table. Ricotta and mozzarella, peppers and pepperoni, mushrooms and tomatoes. There's a Polly-O food product for every course, from antipasto to dessert. For years, Polly-O has been famed for delicious, easy-to-slice mozzarella cheese and creamy smooth ricotta cheese, now double sealed to lock in the natural freshness. Now there's a whole family of Polly-O Italian food products, all in the best of Italian taste. Look for the Polly-O name at your favorite supermarket or deli. Polly-O sets a great Italian table.
Get to know Polly-O.
All right, Dick Tidrow on the mound. He relieved Rudy May in the 3rd inning, and Fred Stanley, who ran for Lou Piniella, goes out to play shortstop for Jim Mason. And if you fans would like information on Yankee season tickets, or even if you're thinking about bringing a group to a Yankee game, the group sales department is on duty. All you got to do is call Yankee Stadium, 212-293-4300. The top of the order to face Dick Tidrow. Jerry Terrell walked and scored in the 1st inning. He was on when Dan Ford unloaded that home run. Then Terrell flied to center field in the 2nd inning. We're in the top of the 5th. The Yankees in front 5-4. Tidrow kicks and delivers line. Base hit past Nettles. That might go for 2. White coming in quickly. Terrell around first base, digging for second. Here's White's throw, and he slides, and he's in with a beautiful fadeaway slide. He overslid the bag with his hand, but then hooked it with his foot. So Terrell opens the top of the 5th with a double pass, the diving Greg Nettles. And that is the first hit off Tidrow, the 3rd hit for the Twins. That brings up Dan Ford, who hit the 2-run homer in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd. Pitch to Ford, loop to left field. Roy White started back, comes in now and makes the catch. And it's 1 away. That ball fooled Roy White because it was hit off the end of the bat with a big swing. And now Rod Carew bounced to first and walked. Rod has stolen a base and scored a run. Right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. First pitch to Rod Carew is fouled back in the upper deck, out of play and back at third base. 1 out, the Yankees leading 5-4. Tidrow sets again. His pitch is popped up. Might be playable. Nettles near the dugout, and he can't reach it. It bounces in the seats and out again. And Nettles picks it up and throws it back into the crowd and gets a big hand. Well, I don't think the Yankees will mind today. They're going to make a few bob on this crowd. 54,028 it seats. And they got at least that. 0-2 the count on Carew. 1 out. Terrell at second base. The Yankees lead 5-4, top of the 5th. Tidrow stepped off the mound. Now he's ready. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's something you very seldom see Rod Carew strike out, especially against the Yankees. He's always getting a piece of that ball, if not a base hit. 2 out. And now Larry Heisel. Heisel was hit by a pitch, stole a base and scored in the first inning, and walked in the third. Nettles is over talking with Tidrow. Plate umpire Don Denkinger wears the chest protector like they do in the National League. The kick and the pitch is low and outside, ball 1. All the other umpires wear the big inflated chest protector that they can hide behind. The 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2-0. On deck, Steve Braun. Outfield around towards left on right-hand hitting Larry Heisel. And the pitch is hit high in the air to right center field. Gamble coming over, loses his cap, is under the ball and makes the catch. So Tidrow gets out of that mild jam. No runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. At the end of 4.5, the Yankees 5 and the Twins 4.
Yes, it's the year to say yes at your Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Now, we went down to our Chrysler Plymouth dealer to see the new Plymouth Volare sedan. You know, that new little car?
So we looked it over and said, hey, looks pretty good.
Yeah, but is this Volare sedan roomier than Granada?
And I said yes. In fact, Volare is the roomiest compact sedan built in America.
Okay, Volare is roomy,
but I wanted to know if Volare sedan is priceless in Granada.
And I said yes to that, too. Volare sedan's base sticker price, excluding taxes and destination charges, is only $33.59. That's $439 less than Granada.
Well, when we heard that, we said yes.
Yes, it's the year to say yes at your Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
See the men who say yes at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
All right, let's salute some of the 1976 Home of Champions radio networks. We have WDEW from Westfield, WAVT from Pottsville, WATS from Sayre, also WJJL from Niagara Falls, and I saw my old buddies from Schenectady, WWWD, 3WD. All right, Thurman Munson will lead it off. Thurman has bounced to third and hit into a double play. The Yankees lead 5-4 in the bottom of the 5th. Vic Albury, the left-hander out there, and the first pitch is strike on the outside corner. It'll be Munson, Chambliss, and Nettles here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The kick and the slow curve is looped into left center field. Moving to his left is Larry Heisel. Backs up a bit now and makes the catch. He had Munson fooled on that one. Thurman had taken a stride and was off balance when he hit it. And here's Chris Chambliss. Chris bounced to short and bounced to first. They play Chambliss straight away. And the first pitch is a broken note. It sounded like a broken bat foul ball. Elston Howard up with this one. Told you about Albury's motion. Really wait on him. It's not overpowering. He winds, and the sidearm curve breaks over. He had Chambliss bailing out of there. 0-2. All right, Albury ready. Curve is base hit to center field. A high hanging curveball that Chambliss jumped on. So Chris gets his first hit of the day. That's the Yankees' 9th hit in the ball game. And now Greg Nettles, who struck out and walked. He got the Yankee rally going in the 4th with 1 out walking. And then 4 consecutive base hits. And suddenly the Yankees, who were trailing at that time 4-1, went out in front 5-4. Pitch to Nettles. Strike on the outside corner. Good breaking pitch. On deck, Oscar Gamble. One man out. Albury ready. Sidearm curve. Popped up by the plate. It's playable. Butch Weiniger in foul territory makes the catch. He jammed Nettles with that pitch, and there are 2 away. And now Oscar Gamble. Gamble has singled and tripled. He has scored a run and driven in a run. Oscar likes to stand outside the box and take a wicked cut before he steps into the batter's box. Psychology, he says, likes to shake the pitcher up a little bit. Chambliss at first with 2 out. Yankees in front 5-4, bottom of the 5th. Albury sets. Did he check it? Yes, he did. It's ball 1. It was a high, tight fastball that Chambliss started. Rather, Gamble started and then held up. Chambliss leading off first. To the belt. And the pitch hits the corner. It's 1-1. Billy Martin puts a lot of mileage on walking up and down the Yankee dugout. On deck, Willie Randolph. Chambliss leads away. Curve high and tight, 2 balls and a strike. Albury looks in for the sign. Throw to first base. He does not have a good move for a left-hander. All the Yankees have been on first have gotten back very easily. He sets again. And the pitch is fouled back in the crowd and out of play. And the scramble is on for the souvenir. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Chambliss at first here in the bottom of the 5th. The Yankees in front 5-4. The Yankees have 9 hits. The Twins have 3. The stretch and the pitch. Brown ball is short. Thompson up with it. Goes over to first base in time to get Gamble. For the Yankees, no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. And at the end of 5, the Yankees 5, the Twins 4.
Colonial's Yankee Franks. The beef Franks with the taste that takes you out to the ball game present the flavor of Yankee baseball. Allie Reynolds is the only Yankee pitcher to throw 2 no-hitters in 1 season. Listen as he recalls retiring Ted Williams twice to end his 2nd historic victory.
I was calculating which hitters I would have to face, and of course I had it worked out. If everything would have, according to Hoyle, I would not have to pitch to Ted Williams. And unfortunately, I walked down to my job leaving the 8th inning, so this put Williams up to hit for the final out. Fortunately, he popped the ball up, and Yogi appeared to have it all away, except he dropped it. I said, well, let's try him again. And darn if he didn't pop the thing up again, and this time Yogi caught it.
The flavor of Yankee baseball is brought to you by Colonial's Yankee Franks. The only Franks sold at Yankee Stadium are now available at supermarkets near you. Colonial's Yankee Franks, the beef Franks with the taste that takes you out to the ball game.
All right, we go into the 6th inning. Ground crew has just dragged the infield, made it nice and smooth. Jimmy Esposito and his ground crew do a great job here. Tidrow will be facing Steve Braun, Butch Weiniger, and Dave McKay here in the top of the 6th. We've got a beautiful scoreboard out here. I've got to find the spot where they put the scores for the other games up. I don't know whether there are any other games. Let's see. Today. All right, the first pitch by Tidrow is low to Steve Braun. Ball 1. Braun's been about one time, bounced out, but got credit for a run batted in. Tidrow's next pitch is line foul down the right field line, back into the seats. Craig Cusick started as the designated hitter. He had a sacrifice fly to right field, his only time at bat to drive in a run. And Gene Mork likes to play percentages, so when Tidrow came on, he brought Braun in. The 1-1 pitch is line to left field. White hustling to his left and makes it. Oh, he almost dropped it. It looked like a big ice cream cone out there. As Roy went to his left, the ball took off. Roy reached up. It hit in his glove and kind of rolled to the top. You could see all that white, and he just did hold on. So there's one away, and here's Butch Weiniger. He's popped to second and bounced to second. Weiniger, a left-hand batter. One man out. And the pitch hits the outside corner, strike one call. Tidrow kicks, delivers way outside, 1-1. Rudy May started the ball game, but Rudy, who hadn't pitched since April the 3rd, just didn't have his control. He was not hit hard, but couldn't find the corners. That pitch is low and away, 2-1. Pitches need work, and it's tough early in the year with a lot of off days. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. It's 2-2. You know Catfish Hunter's going to start every 4 days. And Ed Figueroa, so the rest have to be worked in gradually. The 2-2 pitch, little bit low as he tried to blow it by him. 3-2. On deck, Dave McKay. The payoff pitch is hit high in the air, not too deep left center. Rivers and White there. White calls, and Roy makes the catch. 2 men are out. Now McKay struck out in the 2nd inning, popped to short in the 4th.
Dave McKay.
Tidrow's pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. 2 out, nobody on. Tidrow kicks and delivers. It's low and outside, ball 2, 2-0. On deck, Steve Bride. The 2-0 pitch in there, strike call, 2-1. Tidrow delivers, and it's bounced to short. Stanley gets a nice hop. Throws him out. And the Twins are 3 up, 3 down, and at the end of 5.5, Yankees 5, Twins 4.
I want a beer like no other beer. I'm Schaefer beer. I want a flavor that won't
consistency makes a great beer. And Schaefer's consistently great tasting every single time because Schaefer's brewed the old world way. Kreuzening, we call it. Since 1842, Kreuzening, the extra step of brewing twice, has kept Schaefer consistently fresh and crisp, consistently great tasting beer after Schaefer beer.
Schaefer beer goes straight to your thirst. Your last one tastes as good as your first. Go out and get a Schaefer and be Schaefer people too.
Well, we got a new pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. It looks like Steve Luber, Luebber. Looks like number 23 out there. Yep, number 23, Steve Luber, 6'3", 195 pounds. He's the third Minnesota Twin pitcher of the day. Let's see if I pronounced it right. Bob Shepard. I did it. Okay. Let's see what Mr. Luber has done so far this year. This is his second appearance. He worked 3 innings, gave up 1 hit and 1 run. Walked 1 and struck out 1. Willie Randolph will lead it off. Willie bounced to second, singled to drive in a run, stole a base, and scored a run. Wind up by Luber and the pitch. Randolph bunts down third, but it goes foul. That would have been a beauty. But it just rolled foul. So Willie will come back. He'll keep those third basemen honest during the year. They're going to have to play in on him. He's going to hit his share of base hits by him. Oh, Willie wants a little pine tar. Better not put it too high. I think the umpire might warn Willie because you cannot. Remember, Munson had that base hit taken away from him, and it was against these same Minnesota Twins. If you get the pine tar too high on the bat, if the opposing team objects, they can call time, and if you get a base hit or a home run, it will not count. Of course, if you strike out or make out, they won't complain. Luber kicks. The curve is over. Strike called, 0-2. Dave Goltz worked the first 3 1/3 innings. Vic Albury an inning and 2/3. Albury is the pitcher of record right now. The 2-strike pitch is hit in the air, straight away center. Moving back is Bry and makes the catch. Ball hit well, but to straightaway center field. And now Lou Piniella. Piniella went in a pinch hit for Dave Coggins. Coggins had been a bat and lined hard to center. Piniella came on with a count 1 ball, no strikes on him, and then lined a single to left field to drive in a run and later scored. Piniella didn't score. Stanley. Yes, Piniella did score. Lou checks his swing, but it's in there for a strike. Piniella had to stay in the game or he wouldn't be batting now. One out. Yankees in front 5-4. The 1-strike pitch is low, 1-1. Luber has good motion. Comes overhand with all his pitches. On deck, Fred Stanley. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that time, Lou became a little sidearm. The 1-2 pitch is fouled back and out of play. Piniella right now has been about 9 times with 6 base hits. Still a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on. Luber rocks back, hands over the head. Curve fouled off the mask of the catcher, bounced high in the air. Denking checks, make sure he's all right. You know, a lot of catchers have a habit of ducking their head when a batter swings. And if you don't have the helmet on, you got a sore head. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Again the pitch, side armor, and it's inside. Let's see, 2 balls, 2 strikes. I don't believe that bat touched the ball that time. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Evidently that ball did hit Pinella's bat. One is a foul tip. High fly, shallow right field. Moving on is Dan Ford. And takes it for the 2nd out. And that'll bring up Fred Stanley for his first at bat in this game. Stanley's been about 4 times with 2 hits. Two out, nobody on. Fred chokes up on the bat. And Luba's pitch is in there, strike 1 called. On deck, Mickey Rivers. Curve in the dirt, 1-1. Yankees are playing very alert baseball after the first inning. Taking advantage of every opportunity. Foul back and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luber gets the sign. Low, 2-2. Very warm, comfortable day here at the stadium. Foul upstairs and out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Yankees 5, Twins 4, bottom of the 6th. Yankees had a big 4-run 4th inning. Another foul back and out of play. So Stanley's staying alive. Outfield not too deep on Fred. He chokes up in the bat. Close stance. Another foul back and out of play. So Stanley giving a lot of souvenirs to the fans. And Fred making Luber work out there on the mound. He gets a new ball. Nobody on base. He's ready. The windup. And the pitch, strike 3 call. Stanley caught looking. For the Yankees, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And at the end of 6, the Yankees 5, the Twins 4.
Boy, this game's terrific.
Sure is.
Hey, Bill, be sure to tell me what I missed.
Miss, where you going?
You know.
Oh, there?
Yeah, there. To get a Baby Ruth bar.
Now?
Oh, sure. All that fudge and chewy caramel.
Well, now I've heard everything.
No, you haven't. There's also lots of peanuts and a sweet chocolatey covering.
Well, granted, Baby Ruths are terrific tasting, but can't you wait until after the game?
Well, maybe I could call time.
What, so you can get a Baby Ruth bar?
Well, when you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
If all you need is money, come on into HFC. Come on in, come on in, come on in to HFC.
For the things you want, see HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
So come on in, come on in, come on in to HFC.
Household finance, where people use our money to get the most out of life.
Come on in to HFC.
Say, Yankee season schedules, which include designations for all televised games, are available through the Yankee offices. Just write to New York Yankees, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York. The zip is 10451. And ask for your 1976 New York Yankees schedule. Yankees leading 5-4. We're ready for the 7th inning here at brand new Yankee Stadium. And ready now, a man who doesn't need a season schedule. Of course, he knows wherever the Yankees are going to be, he's going to be. And that's our buddy Frank Messer. Frank?
Okay, Phil Rizzuto, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. Steve Bry leads off with the Twins, and it's the first pitch in the air to deep left field. Roy White circling to his right is there, and he makes the catch. So one pitch, one away, and Tidrow has now retired 7 men in a row since Jerry Terrell's double, leading off the 5th inning. It is Tidrow's game to win or lose. He is the pitcher of record. Brings up Danny Thompson, the shortstop. He's popped up and been called out on strikes. Thompson, right-hand batter. They shade him a bit to the left side as a pull hitter, and he looks at a fastball for a strike. The Yankees with 5 runs on 9 hits. The Twins 4 runs on only 3 hits. Line drive center field way. That's going to be a base hit. Rivers has to play it on a high bounce. Almost bounced over his head, but he got to it. There's base hit number 4 in the ball game for Minnesota. That is the second hit off Tidrow, and the batter will be Jerry Terrell. The second baseman has walked, fly to center, and double. He is hitting 167. Chambliss holds on the base runner Thompson. The pitch, a slider, is popped up foul outside of first. Chambliss over toward the seats. He does not have room. The Yankees were down 4-0 in the early going as Minnesota scored 3 runs in the first inning, added 1 more in the third. The Yankees got 1 back in the bottom half of the third and then scored 4 in the fourth. 0-1 pitch. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Throw to first base, not a good pickoff move, and Thompson was back well ahead of it. The stretch by Tidrow, the glance at first, and the pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. He was out in front of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Capacity crowd here at Yankee Stadium, although the official attendance has not been announced to us in the booth. And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. This is the New York Yankees Home of Champions Radio Network.
You're listening to WMCA, that's Strauss Communications in New York. And hi, my name is Richard Hayes, and why don't you join me every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock? Come spend Sunday with me. The best is yet to be.
So after starter Rudy May had thrown 5 pitches, the Twins led 2-0. Rudy struck him out in the 3rd, and he flied out in the 5th against Tidrow. So Dan Ford is 1 for 3. Lob throw to first base, not in time. The Yankees play Ford as a pull hitter, more so in the outfield than the infield. As we are in the top half of the 7th inning. Danny Thompson takes his lead about 3 steps at first base. Chambliss holding the bag. Big gap on the right side of the infield for Ford. And the pitch. Foul back again. And into the crowd. Well, we'd like to say hello to a lot of Yankee fans in Beacon, New York, listening to our ball game this afternoon on WBNR. Welcome to Yankee baseball up there in Beacon, New York and vicinity. Tidrow into the stretch. Big right-hander comes set at the belt, straddles the rubber. In Binghamton, New York, you're listening to Yankee baseball on WKOP. Foul back. Count holds at a ball and 2 strikes. Your fan made a good play down in the stand. In the Canandaigua, New York area, you're enjoying Yankee baseball over WFLC. Welcome. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Thompson at first base, Ford waiting. And the pitch to him. Low, had the plate for downstairs, 2-2. Tidrow looks into Munson for his side. Comes set above the belt, the pitch. Swing, and they strike him out with a slider to retire the side. No runs, a base hit, and the man is left. At the end of 6.5 innings, the score is New York 5 and Minnesota 4.
You're gonna be surprised, but don't be surprised by the nice little extras from AMCO.
If you don't want your car in a repair place all week, take it to where most transmissions get done in one day. Take it to AMCO.
WMCA, get the nice little extras from AMCO.
Driving a General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, or American Motors car? Doesn't matter. Nobody knows your car's transmission better than any of the greater New York AMCO centers. They do things right.
Have a Jumbo Jack hamburger on Staten Island. A breakfast Jack sandwich in Boston. A hot lemon turnover in St. Louis. Crispy onion rings in Denver. A Moby Jack fish sandwich in Malibu. A super taco in Honolulu. Jack in the Box restaurant. All the way from the Hawaiian Islands to Staten Island. Watch out, McDonald's.
Mickey Rivers, Roy White, and Thurman Munson. Rivers is 2 for 3. Left-hand batter. The paid attendance here at Yankee Stadium this afternoon has been announced as 52,613. 52,613. Rivers swings and misses. Steve Luber, the 3rd pitcher used by Twins manager Gene Mauch. Young right-hander from down in Clinton, Missouri. has the sign from Weiniger, kicks and deals, and an off-speed curve is bounced up the middle, but to his right, the second baseman, Terrell, he's got him in a fine play. Very, very close at first base, as Jerry Terrell had to come in and to his right quickly to get to that ball and make the play. Here's Roy White, back again as a left-hand hitter. Started out hitting left-handed against Goltz. Grounded out to second and to first. As a right-hand batter against Albury, he grounded out to second, so Roy is 0 for 3. He's after the first one and pulls it foul just by the Yankee dugout. No balls and a strike. Roy is batting at the moment .353. Third baseman McKay is in tight on the grass, and the pitch is hit in the air to left field. Coming on for it is Heisel. The left fielder is waiting now and makes the catch. 2 down. Thurman Munson will step in. Thurman has not thumped this afternoon. He's 0 for 3. Grounding out to third, grounded into a double play started by the shortstop and flied to left. So he's pulled the ball every time up, but not for a base hit. Munson is batting .238. This is Munson's first game behind the plate this year, after he injured the index finger on his right hand early in spring training. He takes high, ball 1. Straight away in the batter's box. One of the league's leading hitters last year, waiting, and the pitch is low and away. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Chris Chambliss is on deck. Yankees lead 5-4, bottom half of the 7th inning. Look in for the sign. The windup, 2-0 pitch. Hit in the air to right center field, ranging over the right fielder to his right. Ford is there. Ford makes the catch to retire the side. So the Yankees go down 1-2-3, and at the end of 7 innings, the score is New York 5 and Minnesota 4.
Hello, I'm Roger Miller for Gabriel Striders to tell you now's a great time to check your shock absorbers because we've got a terrific deal for you. Buy 3 Striders and we'll give you the 4th one free. You save 25%. Striders are Gabriel's finest quality shocks. Road and Track magazine picked them overall winners of all shocks tested on a 74 Corvette. They're the 3-position adjustable shocks you can custom tune to the way you drive. Gabriel Striders. Buy 3 now. Get the 4th one free wherever you see me on the Gabriel Buy 3, Get 1 free sign. Offer good at participating dealers in the U.S. only. Ends May 31st. Gabriel Striders. King of the road. Have Gabriel shock absorbers installed where you have your car serviced. You'll discover the difference quality, design, and manufacturing can make in a shock absorber.
Right now, before we go to the 8th inning, we'd like to apologize for technical problems a little bit earlier in the broadcast. We seem to have everything under control now, however. Well, sometimes gremlins on opening day can even creep into the broadcast booth or the line somewhere along the way. Quick summary on the ball game. The Twins scored 3 runs in the first inning. A walk to Jerry Terrell, a home run by Dan Ford. Larry Heisel was hit by a pitch, stole second, kept on going to third on an error by Willie Randolph on Munson's throw, and he scored on Craig Cusick's sacrifice fly. Twins made it 4-0 in the third. Without a base hit, they got a run. On a walk to Carew, he stole second, went on to third on Munson's throwing error, and scored on Steve Braun's ground ball to Chambliss at first. Rod Carew leads off the 8th inning. The Yankees got a run in the bottom half of the third on a double by Jim Mason. And Roy White's ground out. And the Yankees came back with 4 in the fourth. Carew is 0 for 2. He swings on the first pitch, ground ball to first. Chambliss has it, steps on the bag in time. One out, and the batter will be Larry Heisel, who has been hit by a pitch, walked and fly to right. 0 for 1 with a run scored. Heisel is a right-hand batter. Outstanding year last year, even though missing part of the season. The bone spur operation in his right elbow. Pitch is high and away, ball 1. He swings to this one, lines it back over second base. Base hit into center field. So Heisel, who has good speed, is on. Heisel wound up hitting .314 and 255 at bats last year. Steve Braun will step in. Braun is 0 for 2 with a run batted in. Left-hand hitter, the designated hitter now after he batted for Craig Cusick in the third inning. First pitch, fastball low and inside. Braun from Trenton, New Jersey. 5'10", 175 pounds. Braun batted .302 last year for the Twins. He lines this one past Randolph, base hit at right center. Mickey Rivers after the ball. Heisel trying for third. Throw to third base, hits him. It hits Heisel and bounces back to Fred Stanley, so the Twins have runners at first and third. The throw from Rivers appeared to be on the mark, but hit Heisel in the back as he went into third base. It bounced right back to Fred Stanley, and the Twins have a threat going with 1 out, runners on the corners. The Yankees have the bullpen going. Dave Fagan, a right-hander, is throwing out there. So runners at first and third. Yankees lead 5-4, and Butch Weiniger is the batter. Billy Martin is making a slow stroll out toward the mound. Well, we'll see if Billy has something in mind. Weiniger is a switch hitter. And it looks like Billy wants him to bat right-handed because he's gone to the bullpen. He'll bring in left-hander Sparky Lyle. So Tidrow leaves after a creditable relief appearance and gets a nice hand as he walks off the mound. Tidrow relieved in the third inning. Retired 5 men in a row, gave up a double to Jerry Terrell, then retired 7 in a row before giving up a 2-out, or rather a 1-out single to Danny Thompson in the 7th. He got the next 2 hitters on strikes. He got the first man here in the 8th, but now back-to-back singles by Heisel and Braun take Tidrow out of the ball game. And Sparky Lyle will try to put the fire out. If you are not fortunate enough to have tickets for today's season opener here at Yankee Stadium, we invite you out Saturday and or Sunday. 2 o'clock ball games against the Minnesota Twins. On Saturday, Ed Figueroa goes to the mound for the Yankees. And Jim Hughes, a right-hander, will be pitching for Minnesota. And quite a pitching matchup on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock with Catfish Hunter going after his second win. And opposing catfish will be a fellow with one of the better curveballs in baseball, Bert Blyleven from Minnesota. Sparky Lyle is making his third appearance. He has won one, lost none. Pitched only 1 1/3 innings. He comes into a situation with runners at first and third, 1 out. And he'll be pitching to Butch Weiniger, a switch hitter who will turn around now and bat right-handed. Looking over our Home of Champions radio network, if you're in the Ellenville, New York area, you're listening to WELV in Ellenville, New York. If you're in the Manchester, Connecticut area, chances are you're tuned to WINF. And we welcome all our Connecticut Yankee fans. Every Yankee game at home and on the road will be broadcast here on the Home of Champions radio network. We hope you'll make it a habit to listen to New York Yankee baseball. As yours truly, Frank Messer, along with Phil Rizzuto and Bill White, will be on hand for the action. Lyle completes his warm-up throws, and Weiniger steps in. Yankees are leading 5-4. Twins are threatening with runners on the corners and 1 out. Weiniger is 0 for 3. He's popped up, grounded out, and flied to left. Weiniger evidently has beaten out Glenn Borgman for the #1 catching job on this Minnesota ball club. Fine minor league credentials, and the first pitch to him. He takes a strike as Sparky Lyle gets the slider over. 0-1. The runners lead on the pitch. Swing and a miss on the slider, strike 2. And in the background, I'm sure you hear the Yankee fans riding on every pitch now from Lyle. Sparky walks off the back slope of the mound, grabs the rosin bag, slams it down, blows on his pitching hand. Oh, 0-2 pitch will be coming. Here it is. And it's pulled foul past the third base dugout. Look down there, and sort of strange to see Tony Oliva coaching at first base for Minnesota. He is also on the active roster. 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. And it's fouled away, straight behind the plate. Larry Heisel is at third. Steve Braun at first. 1 out. Infield at double play depth. Lyle trying to protect a 1-run Yankee lead, 5-4 over Minnesota. Here in the top half of the 8th inning. Rivers in center, shades toward left for Weiniger. The stretch by Lyle. And the pitch comes. Fouled into the Minnesota dugout. So Weiniger has gotten around a couple of times on Lyle and pulled 2 of them foul. Lyle again blows on the pitching hand, not to warm it up because it is a warm day. Sparky stares in, starts his motion, and the 0-2 pitch. Fastball is popped up foul behind first. Chambliss is after it. And so is Rivers, rather not Rivers, Randolph, the second baseman, comes over to take it. Woody Randolph backing up Chambliss on the play, called the first baseman off of it, and makes the catch in foul territory. So there are 2 down. Runners remain at first and third, and the batter will be Dave McKay, the third sacker. McKay is 0 for 3, having struck out, popped up, and grounded out. Right-hand batter. Heisel at third, Braun at first. First pitch, breaking ball gets the outside corner. The official announcement has just been made that the Yankees have added to their active roster catcher Rick Stelmazik. Foul back into the seats behind first base, and the count goes no balls, 2 strikes on Dave McKay. The Yankees were a man short with the absence of Ronnie Bloomberg, who is scheduled to undergo surgery tomorrow out in Inglewood, California. Bloomberg will have surgery on his right shoulder. Yankees hope that they can have him back for the last month or 6 weeks of the season. But that's looking a long way ahead. Right now, Lyle with an 0-2 count on Dave McKay. Runners first and third, 2 down. The left-hander looks in for his sign from Munson. Comes set below the belt, and here's the pitch. Fastball is low, dug up nicely by Thurman. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two on, 2 gone. Yankees leading 5-4. Top half of the 8th inning here at Yankee Stadium. 1-2 pitch coming. It is low, a breaking ball. Munson knocked it down, kept it at his feet. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rudy May started this game, pitched 2 1/3 innings, allowed 4 runs, only 2 earned on 2 base hits. He walked 3, hit a batter, and struck out 2. Then Tidrow came on in relief. Tidrow pitched 5 innings. Gave up 4 hits and struck out 4. 2-2 to McKay. And he fouls it off on a half swing. Count rides. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sparky Lyle in a save situation. Gets a new baseball, rubs it up. Looks down the lane to Munson. The runners lead. Heisel from third, Braun from first. The set, the kick, the pitch. Bouncing ball to shortstop. Stanley has it. The flip to Randolph at second, and that retires the side. A threat, but nothing more. For the Twins, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 men are left on base. So now in the middle of the 8th inning, the score is New York 5 and Minnesota 4. You know, we get a lot of requests from fans asking, how can we get Yankee tickets? Well, we've got a lot of ways, so listen carefully for the method best for you. The Yankee Stadium ticket office is open from 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday and 10 to 5 on Sunday. The Grand Central ticket office is open from 9 to 5:30 on weekdays and from 10 to 4 on Saturdays. You can also get Yankee tickets at all Ticketron outlets in the metropolitan area. Also over in New Jersey at the North Jersey Auto Clubs in Oradell, Patterson, and Jersey City. Through Westchester Tours in White Plains. At branches of the Bank of Smithtown out on Long Island. At the Bergen News in Palisades Park, New Jersey. And over in Connecticut at the Welcome Aboard Vacation Centers in Meriden and New Britain. And also through the Globe Travel Service in Bristol, Connecticut. So keep those locations in mind. Get your Yankee tickets and come on out to brand new Yankee Stadium and enjoy New York Yankee baseball during the 1976 season. Chris Chambliss will lead off the bottom half of the 8th inning for the Yankees. Chambliss is 1 for 3. Left-hand hitter, and the pitch is over but low, ball 1. Steve Luber, the 3rd pitcher used by the Twins, throws the baseball in for Don Denkinger to take a look at, and Denkinger throws it out of play. The Twins with Larry Heisel in left, Steve Bryan center, and Dan Ford in right. Dave McKay at third, Danny Thompson at short, Jerry Terrell at second, and Rod Carew at first. Rookie Butch Weiniger catching. Yankees lead 5-4. The windup by Luber and his pitch to Chambliss. Foul to the left side and back toward the upper deck. We say hello to Yankee fans in the Gloversville, New York area, listening to WENT in Gloversville. Welcome. Ground ball to the right side. To his left, Terrell, the second baseman, scoops it up, throws to first in time. So Chambliss is retired, one down. The Yankees have not presented a base runner against Steve Luber, who relieved to start the sixth inning. He has retired 7 in a row. And will now pitch to Greg Nettles. Nettles is 0 for 2, having struck out, walked and scored, and popped up foul to the catcher. He swings and he misses, strike one. Luber looks in for his sign. And the next pitch to Nettles. Check swing, and a strike is called. 0-2. Second baseman Jerry Terrell plays Nettles out in shallow right field. Way back in the grass. Shortstop Thompson almost behind the bag at second. 0-2 pitch. Fastball inside. Ball and 2 strikes. There's the kick. Here's the pitch. Change-up outside. 2-2. We've had a hazy day here at Yankee Stadium this afternoon with the lights on through much of this ball game. Now the sun starts to break through, and the pitch is swung on and fouled straight back. Dave Gold started this ball game for the Twins. Vic Aubrey relieved in the 4th inning, and Aubrey is the pitcher of record. Luber came on to start the 6th, and he has pitched well. Two-two pitch to Greg Nettles. Hit in the line to center field. It's in for the base hit. Fry plays it on the roll, and Nettles is on. Base hit number 10 for the Yankees. So Luber retired 7 in a row, and now Nettles has singled. Oscar Gamble, the batter. Gamble, playing right field this afternoon, has singled and tripled. He's scored 1 run and driven in a run. 2 for 3. There goes Nettles, and the pitch is lined to left, giving chase to left fielder Heisel. Can't get to it. It's Bryan for extra bases. Nettles will score. As Gamble goes into second base with a double, and his second RBI, the Yankees lead 6-4. Base hit number 3 in this ball game for Oscar Gamble. Billy Martin called for the hit and run. Nettles broke, and Gamble lined a double out into left field. And now with Gamble at second base, 1 out, here's Willie Randolph, right-hand hitting second baseman. Randolph is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Luber's going to think it over as he straddles the rubber. And the pitch is a fastball low, ball 1. Yankees keep the action going out in the bullpen, a right-hander and a left-hander. Twins have a left-hander, probably Tom Bergmeyer warming up. Throw to second, not in time. Gamble gets back as the second baseman Terrell tried to sneak in behind him. Gamble at second, one away. The Yankees in front 6-4 here in the bottom half of the eighth. Luber hides the ball behind the right hip, takes the sign, comes to the belt, spins and throws again to second. Safe. It was closer. Gamble goes back standing. One ball and no strikes to Willie Randolph. Luber takes his time, now kicks and deals, and he's low with a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. Gamble leads away at second. Luber is ready. And he throws to his second baseman, who is nowhere near the bag. Jerry Terrell was in his normal fielding position as Luber spun around, and if he had thrown to the bag, nobody would have been there. But he threw right to the second baseman, Terrell. 2-0 pitch. High, ball 3. And now time is called as pitching coach Don McMahon of the Twins walks out to the mound. Trying to settle Luber down. Luber had pitched well until this inning. He got Chambliss on a grounder, but then Nettles ripped a single, and Nettles doubled. While the conference goes on, let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. This is the New York Yankees, home of champions baseball network.
This is WMCA, Strauss Communications in New York. Hello, I'm Dan Daniel, and I'm on the air every day, 10 to 1, Monday through Friday.
Here we go, 3-0 pitch, and it is taken for a strike by Willie Randolph. Don McMahon had his say to his right-hander and went back to the dugout. Gamble at second, 1 out. The stretch by Luber, and the pitch to Willie Randolph. Check swing and a strike call. Randolph broke for first, and the count is full, 3-2. First base coach Elston Howard appeared to be questioning the call by Don Deckinger. Ellie now starts a conversation with first base umpire Larry Barnett. 3-2 pitch. Hit in the air to shallow right. Coming on for it is the right fielder Ford. It drops in between Ford and Terrell for a base hit. Gamble goes on to third on the throw in that got away from Carew. Willie Randolph goes to second. Heads up base running by Willie Randolph, who saw the throw from right field get away from Rod Carew, and Randolph raced out of second base. We'll get the official scores ruling. It will be a single. Gamble holding to see if the ball would be caught, gets only to third. So now the Yankees with 1 out have runners at first and third. The batter will be Lou Piniella. The catcher Weininger goes out to talk to Luber, and Piniella has a conference with third base coach Dick Hauser. Runners second and third. 1 away, and let's see if they pitch to Piniella. There was an error involved in the last play, but let's see who they give it to. They'll charge it to Danny Ford, the right fielder. statistician and traveling secretary Bill Kane voiced the question all of us were asking when Public Relations Director Marty Appel announced a single and an error. Bill said, error on who? We quickly got the answer. The error is charged to Ford on the throw from right field. Infield play is in as Piniella steps in. They are walking. Piniella will be put on. Piniella had a clutch hit back in the fourth when he batted for Rich Coggins and singled to drive in a run. He also scored the go-ahead run on a base hit by Otto Velez. Ball 3 has been thrown, so Piniella will be put on, and the batter will be Fred Stanley. There's ball 4. Fred Stanley struck out in the 6th. He was called out on strikes. He's 0 for 1. So the Yankees have the bases loaded. First bases loaded situation in this ball game. With Gamble at third, Randolph at second, Piniella at first. Stanley very anxious in there at the plate, and a pitch out was called for as the Twins look for the suicide squeeze. One ball and no strikes. Gamble at third, looks at Coach Dick Hauser. Let's see if they do put the squeeze on. We'll watch Gamble for you. He does not come, and the pitch is taken low. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. It's a good thing the squeeze was not on with that pitch. A tough pitch to bunt. Low fastball. Our budding coach just walked through the booth, Phil Rizzuto. 2-0 pitch. High, ball 3. So Luber now is in danger of walking in a run. The Yankees lead 6-4. And, of course, will take all they can get. 3 balls and no strikes on Stanley. .30 pitch. Strike call. Letter high and across the middle. 3-1. Stanley steps out, looks down at Coach Dick Hauser at third. Gamble leads at third. Randolph off second. Piniella away from first. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Low and outside. Stanley walks and gets credit for a run batted in. The Yankees lead 7-4. Randolph moves to third. Piniella to second. Stanley at first. 1 out. And Mickey Rivers is the batter. Rivers is 2 for 4 this afternoon, batting .227. And that's going to be all for Luber as Gene Mauch walks out to the mound. So Luber is retired here in the 8th. After facing 6 batters, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, 1 intentional. Gene Mauch, 50 years old, from Salina, Kansas. Mauch played in both major leagues. Not a whole lot. First came up to the major leagues with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1944. Pirates in 47. Dodgers and the Cubs in 48. Boston Braves in 1950 and 51. Cardinals in 52. He managed at Montreal, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years. So Mock has made his pitching change, bringing on left-hander Tom Bergmeyer. Luber goes 2 1/3 innings. He has been charged with 2 runs, and of course 3 base runners are his responsibility. He allowed 3 hits, walked 2, and Luber struck out 1 man. Tomorrow's an off day for the Yankees. Then on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, Ed Figueroa, right-hander who won 16 games for the California Angels last year, will be on the mound for New York, and Jim Hughes, a right-hander from Minnesota. On Sunday afternoon, a pitching duel shapes up between Catfish Hunter and Bert Blyleven. This is Bergmeyer's first game this season. Left-hand pitcher. First man to face him will be left-hand hitting Mickey Rivers. Bergmeyer in 46 games last year for the Twins. Won 5, saved 11, and lost 8. Lefty against lefty. The infield is in with 1 out. The bases loaded. The stretch, the set, the pitch, hit on the ground, and past the first baseman, Carew into right field, base hit. 1 runner's home as Randolph scores. Here comes Spinella, he scores. And the Yankees now lead by a score of 9-4. Stanley stopped at second. And Mickey Rivers, with a bases-loaded single, his 3rd hit of the ball game, drives in a pair of runs. The Yankees lead 9-4, and Roy White, the batter. White is the 8th man to come up here in the 8th inning. The second 4-run inning in the ball game for the Yankees. They got 4 in the 4th, now 4 here in the 8th. And the first pitch to White, a switch hitter batting right, is high and away, ball 1. Both of those runs were charged to the departed Luber. Yankees 9 runs on 13 hits, lead 9-4. The pitch, breaking ball is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Stanley at second, Rivers at first, as Bergmeyer takes the sign from Butch Weiniger. The lefty has the glove on the right knee, gloved hand on the right knee, the ball behind the left hip. He kicks, he deals high. 3-0. White this afternoon is 0 for 4. He does have a run batted in. He delivered the Yankees' first run in the ball game in the 3rd inning with a ground out to first base. Ground ball was turned into a force play by the first baseman. Here's the pitch. Ball 4 is high, and the Yankees again have the bases loaded. That moves Stanley to 3rd. Rivers to 2nd. White at 1st, and Thurman Munson is the batter with the bases loaded and 1 out. Munson is looking for his first hit of the day. He's bounced to 3rd, grounded into a double play, fly to left and fly to right. Right-hand hitter takes his time getting in the batter's box. Three on and 1 gone. The stretch, the kick, the pitch. Curveball is fouled off to the right side as Munson tried to take it to right field. No balls and 1 strike. At one stage of this game, the Yankees were down 4-0. They now lead 9-4. And the one-strike pitch. A curve is popped up in a shallow left. Back goes the shortstop, and Danny Thompson, the shortstop, makes the catch in shallow left field. He took it over his shoulder with his back to the infield, and the runners all hold up. That brings up Chris Chambliss with the bases loaded, and now 2 down. Chambliss started the inning by grounding out to second baseman Jerry Terrell. Terrell plays him back at the grass. Infield plays him to pull the outfield, not so much so, although the left fielder, Heisel, does shade a bit towards center. Bergmeyer's pitch, a curve, is inside. Ball 1. Stanley at third, Rivers at second, White at first. Bergmeyer's working off the set position. And his pitch, breaking ball, is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. The first home run in New Yankee Stadium claimed by Dan Ford in the first inning of this ball game. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball is lined to right, base hit. Stanley will score, so will Rivers. And on to third base goes Roy White. The Yankees lead 11-4. Chris Chambliss with a bases-loaded single drives in a pair. 11-4 New York. Marty Appel, our Yankee Public Relations Director, stopped by the booth and wants to whisper in my ear. And he whispers, it's a great day. Great day for the Yankees. They're leading 11-4. Nettles the batter, runners first and third. The pitch is inside for a ball. Thank you, Martin. To look to first, Bergmeyer's pitch hits the bat. As Nettles tried to get out of the way of the pitch, it was inside and hit the bat, fouling off. 1-1. Nettles is the 11th man to come up. He started the scoring parade with a 1-out single here in the 8th, lining one to center field. Gregg is 1 for 3. He swings and he misses on the slider. A ball and 2 strikes. The Yankees having built up an 11-4 lead now with 14 hits. The kick, the pitch, curveball is over, but must have been a bit low. 2-2. Again, the stretch, the lefty deals, and Nettles swings and misses for strike 3. But the Yankees come out of the inning with 6 runs. They leave 2 men on. At the end of 8, the score is now New York 11 and Minnesota 4.
If all you need is money, come on into HFC.
Sometimes the things you really want seem so close. If only you had a little extra money. That's why at Household Finance, we'll do everything we can to make you a loan. We believe that money shouldn't come between you and what you want out of life. HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
So come on in, come on in, come on in to HFC.
Polio's sets a great Italian table. Ricotta and mozzarella, peppers and pepperoni, mushrooms and tomatoes. There's a Polio food product for every course, from antipasto to dessert. For years, Polio has been famed for delicious, easy-to-slice mozzarella cheese and creamy smooth ricotta cheese, now double-sealed to lock in the natural freshness. Now there's a whole family of Polio Italian food products, all in the best of Italian taste. Look for the Polio name at your favorite supermarket or deli. Polio sets a great Italian table.
Get to know Polio.
Well, a near-capacity crowd of 52,613 paid and over 54,000 in the ballpark Well, watch the top half of the ninth inning as the Minnesota Twins come up with Steve Bry, Danny Thompson, and Jerry Terrell, barring any pinch hitters. Sparky Lyle trying to save the ball game for Dick Tidrow, who was the pitcher of record. And the fans out in the bleachers reacting to something we cannot see from our vantage point. Steve Bry, a right-hand hitter, is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Rudy May started for the Yankees. Tidrow relieved in the third. Lyle relieved Tidrow in the 8th. Lyle came in a save situation. The tying run was at third base. He winds, left-hander's pitch, high over Munson, back to the backstop. Tidrow stands to get the win. He pitched 5 innings. Pitch on the way. Slow curve is a called strike. 1-1. Looked like Lyle shaved something off of it. Now the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball is hit in the air to right field. Gamble is there, makes a one-hand stab, and there's one away. And now the number 9 hitter, shortstop Danny Thompson. He's 1 for 3. The Yankees lead 11-4 here in the top half of the ninth, trying to make it 4 wins in a row after losing their season opener to the Milwaukee Brewers. They were shut out by Jim Slayton. Lyle deals high. The Yankees then came back to beat the Brewers and took 2 in a row at Baltimore. The pitch on the way, looped out into shallow left field. That one's going to drop for a base hit. Neither Stanley going back nor Rivers and White coming in could get to it. So Danny Thompson collects his second hit. Base hit number 7 for Minnesota. The first off Lyle. And now Jerry Terrell, the leadoff hitter and second baseman. Terrell is 1 for 3. He has walked, flied to center, doubled, and struck out. Right-hand batter chokes up a bit and takes a low fastball for ball 1. Nettles plays him in shallow at third, in on the grass. He swings away and pulls one foul down the third base line. Eddie Lyons, the third base coach, claims it, flips it to Nettles, and Gregg relays it to Sparky. Chambliss is not holding Thompson on, with the Yankees leading by 7 runs, 11-4. Pitch coming. Breaking ball is popped up foul outside of first, headed for the seats, out of play. The Yankees started the day's action with a 1/2 game lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. So barring a miracle here by the Twins in the 9th inning, the Yankees will maintain first place in the American League East. 1-2 pitch to Terrell. Outside, ball 2, 2-2. Gamble plays him very shallow out in right field. Rivers straight away in center, White straight away in left. 2-2 deal. High, ball 3 and a full count. Payoff pitch is on the way. Hit in the air to center field. Rivers comes in a couple of steps, camps under it. And Mick the Quick takes it. There are 2 down. Twins' hopes rest now on the shoulders of right fielder Danny Ford. Ford hit his second home run of the year in the first inning. It followed a walk to Terrell and gave the Twins a 2-0 lead at the time. Since then, he has struck out twice and flied to left. Ford is batting 120. Thompson leads at first. Here's the pitch. Foul straight back. The 0-1 delivery outside. Ball, one ball, one strike. 2 outs. Danny Thompson down at first base. And the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball is fouled straight back. Ball and 2 strikes on Dan Foy. Lyle gets a new baseball. The Yankees lead 11-4. 2 outs. A man at first here in the top of the 9th inning. These teams meet again Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. 2 o'clock ball games. Lyle looks to Munson. Has the sign. Checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Nubbed foul over toward the third base dugout. Had it in on his hands. A ball and 2 strikes. Lyle is ready to work. And the 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, left side. Stanley comes up with it, throws to second, not in time. Fred Stanley, deep in the hole at shortstop, came up with a fine fielding play. While still on the ground, he threw to Randolph at second base, but not in time to get Thompson, who broke as soon as the bat was swung. So the Twins stay alive with runners at first and second. That is a base hit. Rod Carew, the batter, with 2 out and 2 gone. Pitch to Carew. Breaking ball is popped up foul outside of third. Nettles chasing over toward the seats. Does he have room? No, the wind drifts it away from him. Nettles wrapped himself over the rolled up tarpaulin. Could not reach it. So the Twins stay alive as Thompson goes back to second base. Ford back to first. Sparky nips at the rosin behind the mound, blows on the pitching hand again. Look back to second by Sparky. He deals, and the pitch is hit on the ground. Randolph at second. He's up with it, throws to first, and the Yankees win it 11-4. For the Twins in the 9th, no runs, 2 hits. 2 men are left on base. I'll be back in a moment with the totals and the recap. The final score, the New York Yankees 11 and the Minnesota Twins 4.
Nowadays, you can't listen to radio, watch television, or read a newspaper without some auto manufacturer telling you what great gas mileage his car gets. They quote the EPA, tell you how many miles per gallon they get in the city, and how many they get on the highway. Well, all these facts are great to know, but if there's anything you need as much as cars that make your gasoline go a little further, it's a gasoline that makes your dollar go a little further. At the Getty Oil Company, we have a new gasoline that's perfect for newer cars. Getty Unleaded Regular, with the octane performance of regular and the clean running smoothness of unleaded. But most important, we sell Getty Unleaded Regular for less than most other major unleadeds. So now you can choose a car that gives you more miles for your money and a gasoline. Getty Premium and new Getty Unleaded Regular. We've got what's best for your car.
For the New York Yankees, 11 runs, 14 hits. The Yankees committed 2 errors and left 6 men on base. For the Minnesota Twins, 4 runs, 8 hits. Twins committed 1 error and left 8 men on base. The winning pitcher is Dick Tidrow, who pitched 5 strong relief innings to pick up his first win of the year. And the losing pitcher is Vic Albury. 2 RBIs apiece for Mickey Rivers, Chris Chambliss, and Oscar Gamble in the ball game. Other runs batted in by Roy White, Woody Randolph, Lou Piniella, Otto Velez and Fred Stanley, who drew a bases-loaded walk to force in a run. So there are your totals on the game, and I'll have more with the awards right after this message. Well, the winning pitcher, Tidrow, gives Sparky Lyle a save, even though the score was very wide at the end, 11-4. Lyle came into the ball game when the Yankees led 5-4, and the Twins had the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at first, and only one out. So the Yankees have now won 4 straight. Our Schaefer stars of the game, Dick Tidrow, will be awarded 5 points for his winning effort in the ball game. Oscar Gamble 3 points for his 3 base hits, a single, a double, and a triple. And also for 3 base hits in the ball game, a point to Mickey Rivers. Today's winning pitcher, Dick Tidrow, and for Dick and his family, gift certificates, compliments of Jack in the Box, where he can take life a little bit easier at Jack in the Box restaurants. The Polio Gamer Award goes to Otto Velez, who drove in the go-ahead run. The Yankees maintained the lead. Velez, with a single, pinch hit single in the 4th inning, drove in Lou Piniella from second base after Piniella had singled and moved up on a wild pitch. So Velez receives a gifts basket filled with Polio Ricotte, mozzarella, and other fine Polio products. And today's Butterfinger Fielding Award, really there was not an outstanding fielding play in the ball game, so we'll make it a team award and say the Yankees sure earned their Butterfingers. The executive producers of Yankee Baseball are Mike DiTomaso and Jerry Kelly. Associate producer is Enos Carnesecca. Our engineer has been Dan Bartolucci. Lines and network facilities were arranged by the Robert Wold Company. Our next Yankee broadcast will be Saturday afternoon when the Yankees meet the Minnesota Twins here at Yankee Stadium. Airtime will be 1:55. Join us in the on-deck circle at 1:45 on Saturday. And now this is Frank Messer along with Phil Rizzuto and Bill White saying so long from Yankee Stadium in New York City. Once again, the final score, the New York Yankees 11 and the Minnesota Twins 4.
Today's game has been brought to you by Chrysler Plymouth. It's the year to say yes to Motor Trend's Car of the Year, Chrysler Plymouth's Volare. By Gabriel. No matter what you drive, no matter how you drive, there's a Gabriel shot for you. Gabriel, King of the Road. By Colonial Yankee Franks. The only Franks sold at Yankee Stadium are now available at supermarkets everywhere. By Schaefer Beer. Go out and get a Schaefer. Be Schaefer people too. By Household Finance. A good place to borrow money. By Getty Premium and new Getty Unleaded Regular. The higher octane gasoline with the lower prices. And by Lincoln Savings Bank. The bank who makes friends for life. The Lincoln Savings Bank in Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Manhattan.